Start recording.
Your sound good to go?
Yep. 5,
Tom, what is that thing leaning against the
4,
wall behind you?
3, 2.
Oh, it's a bungee chair.
1. Welcome, everybody. Another episode of Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies. I'm here with the crew of the Nostromo. This is episode 74. Who's going to tell me what happened last time on the Nostromo?
I guess if I must then. Previously on the Nostromo, our intrepid hero set sail down the Chappaquiddick towards this area and arrived at the river city of Hyannisport, home of first mate and Lord of New Hope, Edwin Smoot. The crew docked their ship and visited some of the local shops to procure supplies and treat themselves to some long-needed grooming before presenting themselves at the Smoot family estate. However, as they explored the city of Hyannisport, the crew took notice of a number of strange occurrences. Guards missing from their assigned posts, streets unusually devoid of citizens, businesses that had closed up shop on short notice, birdsong despite the absence of any animal life, and talk of people simply leaving the city without a word and never being seen again. Following a racially insensitive visit to the barber, the crew began to notice gaps in their own memories and came to the conclusion that Hyannisport was under the same effect that had befallen the Azunian mining town they previously visited, which had been reduced to little more than a ghost town as a result of a memory-altering enchantment. Smoot then revealed his motivation for wanting to return home was due to a letter he had received from his mother. At first glance, it seemed to be nothing more than innocuous correspondence, but it also had several disturbing messages scrawled in the margins, as if his mother had been trying to communicate a dire warning to her son. Smoot led the crew to his family's home, where they discovered Lady Evelyn Smoot had been left alone in the care of a single servant, a circumstance which neither of them found at all strange. Fearing that they might all soon fall even further under the sway of the sinister spell, the crew hurried back to the Nostromo with Smoot's mother and departed the city back up the river from whence they came, away from the cursed city and beyond the sound of the unseen birds. Sailing as far as they can from Hyannisport and past a neighboring lizardfolk village that appears at a glance to have suffered a similar set of circumstances, the crew of the Nostromo must now decide what the next course of action shall be. Where shall they sail to next? How can they cure Smoot's mother of the enchantment? And most importantly, who or what is causing this horrendous hex across the southern lands of Gullisea? Will our heroes be able to bypass it should they dare venture towards the Lonely Mountain? All of these questions and more will likely go unanswered as the crew of the Nostromo get themselves in another perilous pickle in tonight's game of Dungeons & Dragons, only on Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies. Brought to you by our esteemed and reputable sponsor.
Thank you, Johnny. Our sponsor this week is The Lighthouse. If you want something that is a tower-shaped building with a guiding light on top so you avoid rocks while you pilot your oil tanker, trust The Lighthouse. Kept well and truly hopeful in nature, lighthouses, using lamps and lights to guide us home. The Lighthouse. Over to you, Tony.
Now with 100% more Willem Dafoe.
Nice. Also tonight, our non-sponsor sponsor, but non-sponsor, Unearthed Craftworks, once again on Etsy. They do 3D printing and have a great response time. Unearthed Craftworks. Okay, so we leave off. It is the morning on the Chappaquiddick. It's a dreary morning. There's a heavy cloud cover. It looks like the sky might rain later today, or it might just continue south and maybe rain heavier to the south. If you're not sure, as the storm clouds do rain south, are pushing south in the opposite direction in which you're traveling. Currently, currently your characters are traveling on the Chappaquiddick River, otherwise in Chappaquiddick known in Yasaria, Red River, known in Rokugan. So, what do your characters do? Currently, you're going north, away from Hyannisport. You've already passed the
Lizard Folk Village.
Well, before that, your characters have passed the barrier,
Towers.
The border. The borderlands between Rokugan, yes, the towers are the border between Rokugan and Yasaria, and, of course, the Lizard Folk Village. You're heading north. What is your plan?
I think we mentioned finding a safe place to put Smoot's mother or the ship. Then we might go back to the town. Or at least go back to Smoot's house, maybe.
I would like to
investigations.
I would like to attempt one more dispel magic on Smoot's mother at my highest spell slot of 6th level, just to see if it's at all possible.
Second, let me read something. 6th level, you said?
Yep. See if now that we're outside of the city and she's been away from it for a little bit, maybe we'll have better luck.
Yeah, give me a second here. Let me.
Either we'll have better luck or she'll get worse.
The two aren't mutually exclusive.
Also true. Could have that with the draw.
Okay, dispel magic, you say? 6th level.
Yep.
Okay. I need you to roll me a d20.
All right. Yeah.
Currently not in the roll room, so you have to tell me what it is.
12.
You rolled 12. What's your intelligence?
Intelligence is +5.
17. Give me a second. Let me look up Dispel Magic for a second. I'll have an answer for you in a second. $10 plus the spell's level. That gets it exactly.
Ooh.
Scared. I was scared.
Let's set the scene. Who's in the room? Where do you do it?
I assume I'd wait until like Smoot was like talking to his mother, like maybe over breakfast or something.
Mm-hmm.
So we were letting her rest in my cabin also, so probably in there.
Okay. So she's either at breakfast or resting in the cabin.
Yeah. Breakfast in bed. We provide excellent guest service aboard the Nostromo.
Okay. She is eating breakfast in bed in whose room?
In my
Captain's
cabin,
quarters.
but I'm not there.
Okay. Who's there? Smoot. Decadic. Okay. As she is sipping her coffee, sets it down on a nice plate in front of her. Describe how your character dispels magic. What does the spell look like? How do you use it?
Let me double check what the components are real quick. Verbal and somatic. Okay. So yeah, be a little gesture. I would probably say something like, you feeling rested this morning, my lady?
Oh, yes, very much so. These waffles are fantastic. They taste like chicken, though.
Yes, it's a specialty of our chef Saminar. It's an acquired taste, but after a while, it really wakes you up in the morning. Gets you that protein you need. If you're feeling well rested, I can provide more restoration for you. Another secret elven technique to get a little pep in your step in the morning, if you like.
Oh, wonderful! What if anything? Do you have anything that can do anything about these bags?
We can get to that later, I'm sure. But for now, this will just help revivify you and be ready to tackle the day here. And then I'll do Mekaleka High, whatever, boom.
Okay. Let me roll. What about that one? She has her coffee. It's just going all over her hands, and she's just kind of like, she drops it. She just,
Always role playing.
and as she sits there, she begins to panic. She begins to shake. Her eyes turn distant, as if she's not there. She's very, very far away. She just seems to sit there. She shakes, and every once in a while she goes, ah! Ah! Just sits there.
Make sure that she's sitting on the bed there.
Mm-hmm.
I won't call out. I'll send a message so as not to disturb her. To the Dr. Scarlet, we could use your medical assistance immediately with Smoot's mother. I think I've broken the spell, and it has taken a toll.
All right, I'm on my way.
Okay, you can arrive if you want. Smoot,
Arrive.
you doing anything in between?
Just trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay. Roll. I think you have an idea of like what's going on though. Your mother looks panicked. She's normally very poised, very calm, right? She's definitely upset, right? You can tell that whatever the dispel magic that Decadic was doing has taken its effect. She's probably has regained her memories. Scarlet, you come in. At this point, she's sitting there shocked. Blood is drained from her face. She looks like she's going into shock.
Okay, yeah. So then let's immediately take care of that. I will do whatever to calm her down and also just to check vitals and all of that.
Roll me a persuasion check and then a medicine check.
Okay, persuasion.
We need to boil water, tear
26.
sheets into strips.
26 for persuasion and 27 for medicine.
Ooh, well.
Picked my two best.
Fuck. Oh, good. All right. So your character. Let me jump back in the.
Two really good ones.
America. Okay. Okay. Yeah. She begins to calm down. It takes you about 10 minutes to calm her down. You elevate her feet. You have her lay down. You kind of gently massage her hands and her extremities, trying to get blood flowing in there. Eventually, she begins to calm down, and it seems like through that and your medicine, and just generally your good investigation, and Decadic, roll me an investigation as well, just real quick. Anybody that has investigation as an N may as well. Smoot, you get it just because it's your mother. Because you know her so well. You can do an insight if you would like instead.
Okay, insight.
For Smoot, you do investigation. Scarlet.
Okay.
Hang on, let me pull up the character sheet.
At 24 investigation.
Okay. Okay.
3 investigation.
Jesus.
You guys are really people.
You're
Only
people.
my character is.
Sadly, the two of us kind of are the people of the ship.
Pretty much.
Someone has to be.
Okay.
You said insight?
Insight or investigation, your choice. You get the insight because you know her well enough.
Insight, because I'm trained in it.
Okay.
And it rolls. And that's dirty 20.
Jesus, you all make it. Okay. Scarlet, you notice as she's beginning to calm down. She's kind of muttering to herself. You hear the words, "The gardens." It kept on coming back from the gardens. It would just keep going. The head never ended. It just kept going. The neck, it's impossibly long. It would hide behind them, and then take them. And the garden. It hides in the garden. The hole, there's just so much blood. They keep walking around it. Decadic, your investigation. You believe that definitely, especially with what Scarlett was talking about earlier, she does seem to be suffering from some kind of shock. But you think it's because she has a lot of memories that are repressed. They're just flooding back into her at one point. You don't know how long this has been going on, but it's like a snap of remembering too much. And too much, that's not great. Smoot. Smoot, with your insight, you've noticed this before, and you were actually kind of looking for it. As you look off, her hand, which was burned a little bit, there was a napkin, and she takes a piece of the drizzle, the strawberry drizzle, and her finger just starts drawing something. As you kind of turn around and you look at it, it's drawing on the plate, right? She flipped it over a little bit, but there was like a plate to her left, and a napkin, and she kind of, her hand gets in the drizzle and just starts drawing on the napkin. You kind of pick up the napkin when it gets finished. Eventually, though, as your mother begins to calm, the hand stops moving of its own accord. You pick up the napkin as you look at it. There is a clean symbol, a religious symbol, that has been drawn into this. You have seen this symbol before. It is the symbol of Tharizdun.
Where have we seen that before?
The Draco Lich I accidentally set free at the bottom of the ocean, the servant of Tharizdun.
You remember Tharizdun to be a god of both madness and oblivion. The god of lost things. He who wants to erase the world. So that's what you guys see. She does calm down after a bit, but she's in a little bit of a shock. You think you might be able to talk to her, but it might take some time. She might need some time.
Give her a bit of time.
Okay. Eventually she'll be like, my dear boy. Oh, my precious boy. Just, I need a few moments to recapture my constitution. It has been a terrible year. The last year has been so terrible. So many people just gone. They're just gone.
Gone where?
I need some time. I need some time. Please, just let me rest for a while. I've watched so many people just get pulled into the ground. And she seems to just stare off into a corner.
Okay.
She's there, but she's not there. Right?
Scarlett, keep an eye on her.
Okay.
I will do that.
Okay. What do your characters do? You have probably enough time to, well, do whatever. It is still morning. Most of you are still eating breakfast.
I'll take care. I'll tend to Mrs. Smoot.
Okay.
Or Madam Smoot for a while, but I also will relay to everybody here. She mentioned the garden thing with long neck, lots of blood. In the gardens, and I'm assuming that those are the gardens near Smoot's family house.
Yeah, it's a good assumption, especially with the letter. You read the letter.
Mm-hmm. And they're lovely gardens. Except for that damn hedge maze.
Okay.
Oh God, I have a hedge maze at my house. Oh no! Oh, we have to go back. Tony,
Move from one place to another.
No. I don't remember out of character, in character. How long ago was it exactly when we did, or when I pulled the sword that set the Dracolich free. Was that a year ago, or I feel like it's not as long as that?
No, it's not. It's not been a year. That was Freeport. It's only been about a couple months.
Okay.
Because that was when you ripped the sword free. The next thing you guys did was you went to the volcano and dealt with
Vaxis.
Titan?
Rovaxis, the Corruptor. Right. So it's probably only been about 3.5 months. I'd have to check the calendar. It hasn't been the full year yet, but I do have that date marked down.
Okay.
Roughly, it's never exactly a year, but I've rolled.
Yeah, just making sure that this isn't my fault also.
I mean, it could be. I mean, you guys are soon to find out, probably. I have no idea.
If it'll make you feel better, I'll blame you.
I assume you to blame me, absolutely.
At some point, we're going to have to fight that Draco Lich right above where we were before, and you're going to have to return your sword to its rightful spot in his head at the bottom of the sea in an anti-magic zone.
But I like my sword. It's mine. My own. Precious.
Complete aside, when she started drawing, I'm like, she drawn the Devil's Tower? Get her some mashed potatoes.
Anyway, you guys are free to roleplay. Figure it out. Let me know what you're going to do. And let me know if you guys can just literally wait an hour and then just go back and talk to her again. I'm good with whatever.
Well, it looks like Trey's logging in here. So I should probably catch him up once he's on.
Mm-hmm.
You still want to try to take your mom's elsewhere?
Gangsters!
What up, Troy?
Yo,
I think we should take her somewhere safe.
where would we like to take her?
What did you call me, Troy?
What?
What?
No.
What?
I heard Troy.
Tabitha,
No,
don't be
that's-
crazy.
But you do kind of look like Brian Blessed from Flash Gordon.
Hi.
Wooden
Keep some
lives.
wings.
Die.
You just do this.
Tell your Hawkman to fly.
Do your Irakoa's lift?
Fly,
go?
Hawkman.
Okay,
Besides
I'm buying
the
it.
lizard, besides the lizard town in Yanisport, I don't know. I mean, we would have to take her and then leave her with the ship, or just leave her on her own.
Don't we have a way to teleport somewhere?
Yes, we could teleport. I could cast teleport back to my family estate, put her under the care of my mother there, and we could use the Hearthstone to bamf back to the ship.
And how long? And the Hearthstone takes how long to recharge again?
7 days. It's got a full charge now.
Okay, I thought so.
I like that plan. Simple, direct. Dare I say foolproof?
And your mother will take her in?
I believe so. She's a very nurturing sort. I'm sure she'd be happy to help look after her.
She did seem
And a fellow
doting
noble.
enough towards you.
Yes, and yes, a noble. Well, Ysseria and Verusia haven't had much correspondence over the years, so this could be seen as an opportunity as well to,
Bridge building.
yes. So, at least in that regard, my father probably wouldn't object too much if I framed it that way.
Diplomatic mission.
Diplomatic.
To Alderaan.
Yeah, I got enough chalk for a few casts of teleport. So yeah, if we want to do that, I still got that book of tunes, so I could cast that whenever.
Okay.
Good.
So there.
Do we want to teleport first and then get more info from her about what's been happening?
Well,
or do
let's
that
talk to
before?
her first.
Okay.
Well, I'll talk to her first.
There's no good idea. I don't think it's a good idea to bam for it then talk.
Yeah, she's been through quite a lot already. Just to ease her into it.
Okay.
But yeah, what does everyone want to ask her?
Well, just gotta let me know what you guys are doing.
We're gonna go talk to her.
Well, we're
Yes.
gonna wait an hour and then talk to her.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
In real time.
Okay, you can wait an hour. Decadic, it only takes you a short rest to, I believe, swap out a spell with that book if you have it attuned.
Let me double check what exactly it says here.
It has other effects too. It does a bunch of other stuff with spell casting if you have it attuned.
Yeah, if I spend 1 minute studying the book, I can expend 1 charge to replace one of my preferred spells with a spell from the book.
Yeah.
So it's got 3 charges, so yeah, it won't take me long at all.
I believe you can do any of the things from the book. What's the name of the book again?
The Atlas of Endless Horizons. With it, I could cast Arcane Gate, Dimension Door, Gate, Misty Step, Plane Shift, Teleportation Circle, and Word of Recall.
Oh, you could actually cast Word of Recall too. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if we got the Earthstone, then we can might as well save the slot.
Yep. Because I believe it is a 6th level slot, and you've already burned that today.
Yeah.
And your Arcane Recovery only gives you up to a 5th level slot. So. Okay.
If it's worth anything during that time while we're waiting, I'm going to spend a couple scry casts and just kind of look in Hannesport. So then a couple like the once over on the abandoned side, and then once over on the other side, just to see if anything weird pops up.
Now, when you do scry, you have to choose a specific location.
Right. Okay. So.
And it
One
has to
in
be,
front of.
It has to be within because the radius is you only see so much, right? You don't see an entire city. I think you only see about what is it, a 20-foot radius or something?
I'm not sure how big the radius is. Let me find that real quick here.
Because everything else is just kind of like mist around it, right?
Let's see. Range is.
The target's sort of physical connection. The target knows casting the.
Oh, I guess you can only target a specific person and not an area?
Target.
It doesn't work how I thought it did.
10 feet of the target. So, you can do a location. It does say it last paragraph. And so target, you could choose a location you've seen before the spell when you do the sensor appears in location and doesn't move. And it is, it's basically, when you choose that location, you basically get like, if you choose a target, like a person, and that person can move, it's just a 10-foot sensor around the person, right?
Okay.
But if you choose a location, it's censoring. It's stuck there. You can look 360, but it's only a 20-foot radius, right? It has to be in an area you've been and you can picture in your mind.
Right. So I want to spend 1 near the entrance. We came in to Smoot's estate, right in the door area. So that way, if someone goes through, I could potentially see it. And then another cast on the abandoned, in front of the abandoned building that we checked out. I don't remember which restaurant. I want to say a cavern.
If it is
restaurant.
Yeah,
brunch.
Restaurant, something like that.
The brunch place.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Let me take a look at the write-up. So you're choosing, we're talking about the western half. You're talking about the wine and bake?
Yes.
And you want to be in the wine and bake or like outside?
Oh, I am the doorway again.
In the doorway.
Right on the outside, not on the inside.
Okay, and you want to choose the entrance. Okay.
Yes. I don't know if I find anything, but hey, why not?
Okay. With both of those areas chose, go ahead and roll me, for the entrance, roll me percentiles to see if something happens in the morning.
Well, I default to high good me, so with a 2, I'm going to say no.
So with a 2, you see the butler come in and out a few times in the day. Like he just goes out and he'll come back. He comes in with like some maybe like some daily groceries or something. Comes back out with a rug, starts doing this, walks back inside, and that's it.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
While we're waiting for that hour, I can go ahead and also cast a message to my mother just to let her know that we'll be coming.
Okay. We'll do this one, and then you can call your mother. Okay. Second one. Roll me percentiles.
Oh, second one.
And high good, I assume.
Yeah. 17. I need to do some low good tonight, apparently.
Yeah. You see the entrance. It's 20-foot radius. You see some people walk by. Just literally someone walking by. Because it's a 20-foot radius. All of a sudden, nothing. And all of a sudden, somebody just walks by like, oh, yeah, da-da-da. Oh, no, the handiest boy. Oh, okay. Oh, but Bob. And then nothing. You don't get much into that. 20 feet in. 20 feet in. Yeah. 20 feet in. Even though you rolled low, you do see, through scry, something you didn't notice before.
Oh.
There's the middle of the floor area, near the edge of your vision, near the center of the dining area, there's a giant hole in the floor, about 2.5 feet by it's basically about 2.5 feet radius. It looked like it had been drilled up. The boards have been split. It looks like it had come up and they've been split off to the side. And it looks like just a hole that just goes down from there. And you see blood marks, streaks that literally lead and drag into the hole. You don't remember seeing that hole.
I say, how did we miss that?
You just...
Other people can view stuff you scry, yay or nay. I forget how that works. So can they look in the thing? No? Okay.
It's a picture in your brain.
Okay.
Only if you have a crystal ball can they see.
Ah. All right. I'll have to invest in one of those, then.
But the people walking by? Nothing. Even like the blood that's spattered on the floor by the entrance. Nothing. They just walk by. And as you look, you're like, is that an ear? There's an ear by the doorway. Just laying on the ground.
Great.
And disappears. So you want to call your mother?
Yeah, I'll send her a message just to make sure she's not, out somewhere or busy with something else.
Okay.
So
25 words.
Yep. Hello, mother. If it's not a bother, could we visit the estate? One of my compatriots needs a safe place for their mother to rest.
Oh, Decadic. Oh, wonderful to hear from you. Yes, of course you can visit. I assume this will be in the next couple days. That's fine. Just let me know whenever you're going to stop by. I will, in preparation for you coming, I'll have the, and then just trails off.
I'll send another message to her. They'll be coming shortly today in an hour or two. We think we've broken a traumatic spell effect on her. If you could tend to her.
Oh, of course. Yes, no problem. I'll have the carriage drawn out front.
All right. Let Smoot and the captain know we're good to go on that front.
Decadic, to note, the carriage is on the other side. The teleportation circle's in the hedge. She thinks you're
God
coming
damn.
to the front gate. She doesn't know you're teleporting in.
I'll blow another sentence.
You don't have to. I'm just saying, like, that's...
No.
You
Let's
get the
gonna
hint
do
on
this
that.
right here. We'll be coming via teleport circle in the garden, Mother. Expect the Lady Evelyn Smoot of Ysaria is who we shall be bringing.
Let me just jump into a character sheet and just do a quick roll.
Not the Smoots. We've heard terrible things about them.
Wait, I remember her from high school, that rotten bitch.
Captain of the drama team.
Oh, yeah.
She owes me 10 cents for a sody.
Damn, she doesn't know her. Okay. She's like, oh, excellent. Yes, absolutely no problem. I'll have the wheelchair brought around.
Very good.
Okay. So, what do you do?
Well, as you advise us about being ready to go over, I will also share what I saw when I viewed the city, specifically in that former brunch place that we visited for Smoot there. Somehow all of us missed a giant hole in the floor. It's like something exploded out of it or crawled out of there and dragged other things back in it. There's blood, body parts get leading to it. If you have the chance to, Kadic, it might behoove you to take a scry as well later, just to see if you find anything either. I suspect now that we're farther away, it may not affect the sensor from the scry and let us see more clearly.
Hopefully, yes. That's very disturbing to think. The effect was so strong. We were only in the city for a few hours at most, and yet it took effect that quickly.
Right.
So think on what we could possibly take as a precaution to try to counteract such an effect.
Can I blow a third one and scry in the barber shop, seeing as we missed things that somewhere we were that I can't imagine we had missed anything? So I'm going to try inside there.
Okay. Barbershop, go ahead and
The
roll.
barber himself, even.
The barber himself or the shop?
Oh, the shop, actually. I don't care if he's in there, because there's probably more evidence there based on what I saw from the other one.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a percentiles. High is good.
81.
Okay. High is good. 81. Okay, you scry in the barber shop. What you didn't notice before is there's dried blood on the other barber shop chair.
The one I sat in?
One chair? Or...
Yep, the one you sat in. You can definitely
Yeah,
tell
cool.
because the barbershop chairs are kind of white, right? And there's just a splattering of red, right? And and when we say red, it's more brown at this point. It's been a while, right? But it's definitely not been cleaned up. You can only see 20-foot rays, so you can't see outside the door or outside the window, right? Because it turns misty. But what you do notice is the barbershop mirror. When you look at that, that shows the outside because it's just a reflection. As you're looking in the mirror, you see, you didn't notice him before. A tiny figure. Maybe about the size of a halfling. But not a halfling. He's standing by the window, and he seems to be following someone around He has a length of rope, and he looks like he's measuring their arm or their leg. This person is standing there. They don't notice it. They don't notice that they're being measured. They don't notice that he plucks a hair from their head. And I say he, you see a cloaked figure, a black cloak. It appears to be gloved hands. But as they turn around, it's not gloved hands. His hands appear to be maybe entirely wrapped in bandages. It's hard to tell. The face is entirely wrapped in bandages. There's no eyes. The head itself is completely wrapped. And you're like, bandages or rags, cloth, clothing. You see wrapped in the bandages, like, is that like a doll? Like you see maybe like a doll's arm kind of just hanging out. You know, you see maybe underneath the bandages as you start to look a little bit closer, maybe like pieces of like a watch, maybe like somebody's just taken a bunch of junk and wrapped some cloth around it, and it's just kind of in a human form, and they're just kind of, it just turns around. It doesn't notice the scrying orb or anything. It just kind of turns around, looks around, hops back down off the box it was on. It's about the size of a halfling, right? Very small, and then kind of skitters off. Starts measuring another person. And then you see another one down the road, further on. It's also doing one. And then you see another one in a window, and then you see another one on top of one of the roofs in the distance. They're fucking everywhere.
They all the tiny ones?
All of them look very small. Granted, the ones that are very far off are hard to tell how big they are, but they all seem to be possibly, maybe if you're judging distance and size, about maybe the size of a halfling, not very big. But every single one wrapped in a black cloak, bandages, and those bandages seem to be basically just wrapped around junk. Just junk. Junk, discarded junk. And then it disappears. You hear ding ding, and you see the barber start to walk in. One of them's not following him, he's just walking in. Starts to get ready, and the 10 minutes is up.
Well, that was fucking weird to listen to.
It was weird to see.
What do you do?
So, one more thing before we go. Just want to make sure someone didn't forget to mention it. Did anyone happen to see, I don't know, hordes of halflings covered in bandages running around measuring people and taking samples? Hordes may be a strong word, but
not
pieces
that
of
I
hair.
recall consciously anyway. You said, Captain, that you heard me cry out at one point, right? Just out of nowhere while we were in the town.
Once you exclaimed, you seemed very alerted, but then denied having done it afterwards.
Now that we're out of the town, Tony, would I remember anything from that, or is my memory still shot?
Still shot. You don't remember.
Well, I might want to ask Smoot's mother,
Or
once we're in a more comfortable setting, if that rings any bells either.
yes.
I do recall, Captain, the feeling of being watched. I can't pinpoint where, but when you were all getting your haircut at the barbershop, I do recall feeling watched, but couldn't find anything.
Is that what you were doing in that alleyway outside? Were you looking for whoever was watching us?
What alleyway?
The one that you know what? Makes sense. Saying it out loud, that, yes. Weird So it seems as though this spell effect, strong as it is malleable. That there are times where it isn't quite as strong or fades for a time, maybe until it fully takes hold of anyone who enters it. It's still not too reassuring.
Could be. Night Naga venom works in a similar fashion. Takes a few doses before you're fully under its sway, but once you're locked in, you're almost there entirely. Till the Night Naga is taken care of. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a similar circumstance to most of the denizens there.
The fighter barbarian Strom is now going to try to understand what's going on, and say, is there something that we could use to protect our thoughts? Say some kind of foil that we can place over our heads to protect our thoughts and prevent others from getting into them.
Perhaps made of tin?
Ooh, yes, tin.
Strom,
I like where Smoot's headed at.
Aren't you wearing a helmet already?
No,
I have no idea, honestly.
I had to think about that for a second.
So I wonder if back on the ship where Rutherford stayed the whole time, if he saw anything strange. Well, he was waiting for us to come back or not. We should go talk to him. Tick, 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 tick. I assume you're tinkering with tools or some such tray wherever you're at.
Yeah, probably.
So, Rutherford, when we were docked back in Hyannisport, did you see anything unusual or feel anything strange in the town?
DM, did I feel or see anything strange?
Give me an intelligence saving throw. This will
Do,
represent you looking out in the town.
Intelligence saving throw. No, with a 9.
Nah, you don't know what they're talking about.
I just give you this blank look like, I have things to do, Decadic. I don't have time for this.
All right. Just checking. I'm going to be traveling soon, by the way. Just thought you should know. Back to my home.
My ship?
No, via teleport, but we'll be teleporting back here right very soon after.
All right.
All right. You have fun with your toys or whatever it is you're doing. Walk away.
I swear they're getting more and more eccentric every day. He says as he's talking to his anvil and hammers.
Don't worry, buddy. It's them that's weird.
I know, right?
Go.
Don't forget your rabbit.
Oh yeah. You know what? Yeah, I would have been talking to him.
You know,
I've probably made him a little enclosure.
Roll me an intelligence saving throw for the rabbit.
Oh wait, that wouldn't be based on me, would it?
No.
The whole time.
Go ahead and re-roll. Just roll a 20. He does have a
roll
plus 2. You and the rabbit have the same intelligence score.
It's
a smart rabbit.
All right, this is for the
Well, he is a powerful
Oh!
wizard.
How dare you insult
Got
the
a
rabbit.
17 plus whatever thingy you want to add to him.
That's a 19, actually.
Yeah.
17, 18. Fuck, 19 with the DC.
We should have brought the rabbit.
The rabbit looks at you. He's like, what do you mean?
You know,
I mean, it was drooling all over you.
What was?
I mean, like the giant head.
Giant head.
Yeah.
I don't recall seeing a giant head.
I mean, it vomited all over you. A little bit. Man,
I look like all over myself. Like, I don't see any vomit. I don't recall being vomited upon.
Well, I mean, just like drooling all over you. It was all over your clothes over there. I thought you were just taking off your shirt because it drooled all over you. You remember taking off your shirt at one point, but you thought it was like hot out at night. As you reach over and you look at the shirt, there's this red goo all over the back of it. It's dried and crusty now, but it's almost hardened, like candy. I mean, it was just drooling all over you, and then this midget, measured you, and then he was gone. It's when you were in your room.
Remind me to increase your ration of food and to find you a girl bunny, because you deserve to get fucked.
I mean, or you could just kill me.
No, you're too valuable to the team right now. I'm going to run out back onto the deck going, Decadic.
Yes? What? What is about the fed?
And I'm holding my shirt covered in red goo, hardened red goo. Okay, so I'm talking to my bunny. And I realize that sounds really weird, but y'all remember he can talk, right?
Yes, regrettably.
Yes.
He saw some big monster thing drooling all over me. And I remember taking off my shirt because I thought it was hot at night, which is weird. And hold up the shirt with the red goo on it, or the red candy. Yeah. I have proof that it happened, but I don't remember seeing or being vomited upon. And then he said a little man came up and measured me.
And this was while you were on the ship.
Yeah.
Did you say the little man was covered in bandages?
No, he didn't say that. He just said it was a little dude, midget.
Well, he was, just so you know. Based on what I saw in town.
So, what the fuck? What
broken
do you guys
dolls
do now?
Hanging from their face.
What did you guys do?
We went into town. We came back.
Yes. But creepy to think that these things were on board the ship. Hopefully, past tense. Just maybe have the crew do a quick search just to make sure, stowaways on board.
Derek, did you still have a way to do any true sights?
Not that I'm attuned to at the moment.
Go ahead, somebody roll me an investigation check for the crew. I will give the crew a +4 for the check as they search the ship.
Got it. +4. Dirty 20.
Eventually, I'm trying to see who would find it. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull up the crew cards.
Next to him on Scarlet Ceiling, quill sharpener.
Also covered in a red goo.
Unrelated.
I saw everything. I can't move or escape.
Hannah Drydale.
It's just frozen.
Eventually, Hannah Drydale kind of comes up and she seems to be holding just a bundle of cloth and just random crap. And she walks up and she's like, I believe this is what you might have been looking for. She'll grab it and she'll just kind of lay it down on the deck, and as she lets go, it's just stuff. But you see what appears to be a blackish kind of dark blanket, kind of like a ragged hood. And she inside of it, there just seems to be piles of rags, toys, socks, just old, kind of moldy pants, letters, a half broken up book, just stuff, just random knickknacks and stuff. A little porcelain doll that's missing its left foot. Maybe like you do see a small like a couple copper pieces, right? And just kind of like just scattered in amongst of it, and what appears to be maybe like some marbles and some puzzle pieces, and like a chess piece, of a dragon chess set. And
Anna, is this some kind of bad attempt at a joke?
And bunches of bandages, and the bandages, as you're kind of looking at them, have like the sigils on them. But as you try to focus and look in the sigils, it's like they just start to disappear. And then as you look away, they reappear. And then you start looking at them again, they start disappearing. It kind of looks like what would make up one of those raggedy people, but it's just stuff.
What language is the letters in, or the book for that matter?
The book is Yossarian. It appears to be a library book. Actually, when you do look at the book, you will see that it is a library book from... Give me a second. The Hannisport Town Hall and Library. It has a sleeve on the end cover with a sign-out sheet on it. Appears to be about a year old. It's a miscellaneous book, say geography.
Any names on any letters that Smoot knows?
Smoot, roll me a intelligence check. Not a high DC.
8.
8. Like I said, not a high DC. It takes you a while. Like most of the letters, you're like, I don't know that guy. I don't know that guy. That sounds familiar. Oh, I know these guys. Just bills. Letters to friends and family. But yeah, these are definitely people from Hannisport. Just random letters, pieces of parchment, half of a deed of ownership to a cart from the What an Ass, which is that barnyard kind of animal cart seller. Just miscellaneous junk. Stuff that you just throw aside and lose.
Huh.
Maybe it's just stuff you throw away and just never think of again.
So, like a trash column?
It doesn't quite look like trash, right? None of it's like trash. It's just stuff you'd find in like a junk drawer.
Junk golem.
Sure.
Hearth spirit.
I want to go ahead and pick up the dragon piece,
Mm-hmm.
dragon chess piece,
Mm-hmm.
and just look at it a little bit to see if there's anything different about it than any other dragon chess pieces I've seen.
It looks well made. It's nice. It's made of actual stone. It's not wood. That might even be marble. It's not bad. It's a boat. You maybe think maybe it's supposed to represent the king or the queen. It's tough to tell since it doesn't have the other pieces with it to kind of give it like significance. But definitely maybe like one of the main pieces a dragon chessboard.
Okay. I'm going to keep that.
Yeah. All right.
They just made of things that people have forgotten about.
I suppose it's possible. I mean,
It's not really full things that you'd find thrown away necessarily, but the random mismatch of things.
yes.
Sigils was the cult of oblivion, so it's just the stuff you forgot about.
Possibly.
I don't know how that would work.
Most magic creating golems or similar types tend to use materials to form a more robust form, but I suppose in a pinch, if you just needed a servant for a time, any assortment of items could be connected together to serve the spellcaster.
Speaking of which, is it dead because we left the city?
Oops.
Or why isn't it active otherwise?
Hannah, you just found it like this? Just
Yeah.
You didn't have to smash it to pieces first?
No, I just found it. It was in a corner. It was kind of in a corner behind a barrel. There was also this small length of rope that it also was by it. I'm not sure if it was a part of it. It has all these little red lines on it.
They were
like
measuring
inches.
people, Basil.
Oh, nice.
Seen those.
Oh, that's fine. That's really all I found. It was just a pile of stuff, but it looked strange, right? It almost looked like it was in a form, but then I kind of picked it up and it just kind of fell apart. There was nothing holding it together. Almost like if you take some pillows and you put them together and you kind of make them into a person shape to try to sneak out of your parents' house at night. That kind of thing. You flip open the covers and it all falls apart. It's just junk. We've all been there.
And certainly. Let's keep this separate. Let's find a container to keep this all together at once. Just I have an idea, depending on whether we return to Hyannisport anytime soon.
Find a nice locked chest for it.
Oh,
Yes.
of course. She'll run off. She'll grab a small chest. She's like, "Well, I had to empty some stuff out of this, but I just poured it on Rutherford's floor."
That'll be fine.
You are going to clean that up.
Of course, sir. Thank you. And she
I'm
goes back.
curious if we return to the city, if this same enchantment that animated these pieces would return or if it would stay inert.
Oh, we'll keep him in the box when we return. And hopefully remember it.
Yes, indeed. Well, Smoot, should we talk with your mother before we get on our way?
Well, you probably should.
All right. She is in the room. Scarlet, she's been calming down. You rolled really high earlier.
Yeah.
You've just basically just been calming her down. Maybe like had some tea made. You probably dropped a couple drops of sedative in it. Like
A nice sensual massage.
I kept it clean and decent.
No happy endings.
Not unless you wanted one.
yeah, you're not gonna walk into there and like she's like. So no, it's she's just drinking
fine.
some tea. She's sitting on the bed. Scarlet's kind of just sitting by her, kind of in like a chair that looks too big for her.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very much in doctor nurse mode right now.
Dr. Nurse.
As Smoot walks in, her eyes kind of brighten. She's, "Oh, Smoot, Oh, my wonderful son, I knew you were going to come save me. It was just, this has been a dreadful mess. It is absolutely terrible what's going on.
What exactly is going on?
I'm completely uncertain of the details. It's like I've been stuck in a dream, like I couldn't... Do you remember the game charades? Or as your father would call it, charades. And remember in charades you can't say a word, right? But you're trying to pantomime and tell people what that word is, but you can't say the word. Pretend that's everything around you. Except you just don't notice it. You notice it, but you don't notice it. It's right there in front of you. You just don't notice it. It's horrifying. Luckily, I spent most of my time in the mansion. Very few times did I actually make it out into town. Since I don't have your father as an escort, I saw really no need outside of getting my hair done, right? But commonly I would have services brought to me until we started running out of servants. I don't know when it started, but I remember noticing it a few months ago. More correctly, 7 months ago. I noticed a few of the servants didn't come back. I never made note of it. I never said a word, but I noticed that they weren't there. I just couldn't say anything. And then I'd notice some of them might have like an arm hurt or maybe some blood on them. And I would say nothing. My boy, I would just say nothing. And then one day, when I was reading my book in the window by the garden, that central garden between the two wings of the house, at night, where the light would just hit it right, and it's between the open space between the two wings that are kind of cut off between the walls. My little garden. One of my servants. We were down to 8 at that point. Was just gardening there. It was Rochelle. She was just gardening, doing thing, and all of a sudden, the ground swelled up underneath her, and this gigantic head on an impossibly long neck kind of just came up from the ground. She didn't take notice of it. She just kept gardening, and it kept getting closer and closer to her, and then another neck came out of it. This one was chirping like a bird, made the most beautiful sound, but I just couldn't say anything. And then the other head was chirping as well. It was making this weird noise. It's just this white face and its black eyes and its horrible, gnarly teeth. It almost looks like a man's head, but it's so big and it's just terrible. And it would just twist, and its body is fleshy, like an intestine, or just some horrible... It looked like a phallus. It's disgusting. And its mouth, it opened up, and it was just drooling this horrible red liquid. It was like blood, except it was just coagulated. It was just horrible. And it would just... It wouldn't stop chirping, but then it stopped chirping just before it started eating. And it just both the heads grabbed her, and they tore her arms off, and she started screaming. And then one of the boys came, one of the stable boys came in, and but then it started chirping again, and then he just stopped looking at it, and he just turned around and walked away. She was screaming without her arms. She didn't live long, boy. I'm sorry. My son, it was horrid. And then it just dragged her into the ground while she was screaming. And I wish that was the only time I saw something like that. I thought I was going to go mad. I couldn't say the words, but at least I wasn't alone. Not for a while. Oh, that poor man, the poor alchemist. The poor alchemist.
What happened to him?
He tried telling people. He came to the door, not but 3 days later, pounding on it. He screamed at the manservant. He was mentioning everything that all of us were seeing, but none of us, like a game of charades, could mention any of it. Just couldn't acknowledge it. Yeah, just the poor alchemist. He would scream at us, and he would tell us, "Why can't you see it? Why am I the only one that can see it?"
Don't we see the alchemist?
Sorry, what did you
Probably
say?
check out the alchemist shop.
Yes.
There are two alchemists, one on the west side and one on the east side. We visited the one on the east side.
Oh, yeah, yes, it was, Jonas, the proprietor of the Deaf Alchemist.
Okay, on the west side. So not the one that we spoke to.
He disappeared shortly thereafter. I didn't see him again, but those holes are all over town. That beautiful hill is marred forever now. Most of the grass has been tore up. It's more holes than anything else. It looks like a beehive. The grassy knoll. I saw them go in and out of it all the time, like bees, almost. Sometimes they just grab people and just drag them into the hole. Sometimes you'd see one of the heads, a couple of them just hanging out, chirping like birds.
Not just two heads, but multiple other heads making the same sound.
I mean, I saw 3 at one point. I mean, they're almost worm-like creatures with human faces, black eyes.
Would that be in the lawn shop? Would that be anything that Decadic would have read about in his studies? I don't know, mostly magic studies, but not so much like monster beast studies, I think.
With your knowledges, I'd give you and Scarlet a roll. It's really obscure. I'm going to say it's a 25. This is something that people don't remember. They don't write books about, right? Finding snippets would be difficult.
This would be just intelligence.
No, it'd be history. It'd be you can make a it's a beast, but it's like historical, but it's also religious. You can make a religion, a history check, or an arcana check. Each one will give you something different. You can choose one that your character might know. The DC is 25.
Is this anyone?
Yeah, anyone. Go ahead.
Okay.
If you have it trained, you have to have it trained.
I'll
History.
do arcana. Oof, not good enough.
Should have spread some guidance around first before we think about stuff.
I only got a 20.
Everyone, stop thinking right now.
Only a 23.
22 on religion.
No dice.
25 was a DC. Sorry, guys. This is purposely obscure.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah, figured it'd be a high target.
Yeah. You might know, maybe others might. They might have heard of it before. But it would be, I mean, it's obscure lore.
I have a thought, and this is Matt talking, not Strom. Can I do a roll to see if Strom can kind of figure out what I have an idea about?
Okay.
So like I'll tell you what my idea is, and then if that's how you want to do it,
Yeah,
that's
fine.
We can see.
Yeah, in all fairness,
So-
tell me what your ideas and.
Okay. So Strom is still kind of stuck on this idea that of the tinfoil hat kind of thing. So he's trying to figure out some way that he can stop the whatever it is from getting into his head.
Mm-hmm.
And he's hearing things like Smoot's mom saying things about the heads that are chirping and the deaf alchemist, and he thinks it's, well, maybe if I stuff something in my ears, maybe that is like the tinfoil hat.
Mm-hmm.
So can I do a roll to see if Strom would think of that?
What's Strom's intelligence?
It is a +2.
That's 14. That's pretty. Do you feel like your intelligence is Strom? Like a 14 is like only 6 from genius.
I mean, I would consider myself a genius, so maybe.
Make an intelligence check. If you get a 10 or above, I'll give it to you.
So modest.
I know, right?
Yeah.
16.
16. It's higher than 10.
Okay.
Better than a 50-50 chance, but yeah, there you go.
So I'll go ahead and relay this to the group. Say, it seems like there may be an auditory element to the whatever's happening. What if we attempt to silence it so we can't hear it? We do have a way that we can communicate telepathically. Communicating with others may be difficult, but we may be able to prevent some of our memories being disturbed if we go back.
It is an interesting point, especially with the bird chirping noise. You tell me that Lady Smoot, this alchemist, we knew his shop was called the Deaf Alchemist. Was he himself not able to hear?
Yes, he is the deaf. Jonas is the deaf alchemist. So.
Okay. I didn't know if it was just a catchy name or, it's...
Oh, right, you're not from... Yes, of course. Yeah, no, yes, Jonas was quite deaf. He had been born that way, really. Always a good man. Came into town years ago. He was an adventurer, apparently, of some sort, and he decided to set up shop. It's a long time ago. He has it's a small family. He had a small family there long ago. No, they went their ways long before this. I don't think they were eaten. He had retired there with his family, and then they had most of them had left. His wife had passed quite a while back. And just a good man. I really hope he's still alive, but I hadn't seen him for quite some time. I just wish I could have helped him, but I couldn't acknowledge what he said. In my mind, I had rewritten what he had said to something else. When he was talking to me, I just wouldn't acknowledge it for what it was. Almost like when your children just don't acknowledge what you say.
Speaking of family, and I shudder to even entertain this thought, but you had mentioned before that Smoot's brothers had seemingly gone off elsewhere. Do you know, did they actually leave for somewhere, or did they just disappear?
Yes, we actually did send the boys south, and one of them is getting ready for statehood. The other, we thought that it best that he actually goes south. Your father has commanded that the unit not get shipments of rum. Sobriety and perhaps some war is a dangerous thing, but perhaps he needs to be distracted. Yeah. Boys' ears get so bored and you would cause so much mischief.
Walking around without his pants.
Yes, of course. Perhaps that's all he needs. Perhaps, or I just hope that my son. Do you think you can do something about this? It's dangerous. I hate to abandon the town, but I don't know what we can do.
We will try.
So what do we do then? Sail back south?
As for you, we have a safe place for you to wait.
Oh, all right. You're going to drop me off at dock?
Not exactly.
Oh,
We're going to take you to another noble family.
oh, yes. We'll have to sail back through town, I suppose.
Not exactly.
Oh, Rokugonian. Oh, how exotic.
Not there either. Think further away.
I only have one set of clothes, my boy. I will have to change.
Don't worry.
It's quite a journey. Some months, perhaps. Is we going on a little adventure? You and
Much
me
faster than that.
For months at a time. We can start a book reading, a book club. Yes, and we can share teas. It's going to be wonderful. I can entertain in this room.
Mechanic would
Yes.
love to be in your book club.
Did you know?
I shoot daggers at Scarlet like, don't you dare give her Lothlita, don't you dare.
You can take up the harp again. I remember when you would try playing,
50 Shades of Goblin.
I bought you that harp. I mean,
Oh,
you
damn.
occasionally would pluck at it, not too much, but you could take up the harp again.
I don't think there'll be time for that.
If-
Mechanic, how quickly can we get this done?
While y'all are delivering the lady smoot, I will begin work on some headphones or something similar to protect our hearing.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Headphones, you say? An interesting name for them.
Basically, just these, what I'm wearing now, only without the microphone stuff.
Ear cups.
So
Ear cups, ear covers, whatever.
So something to deafen the ears, to cover them, to prevent sound is your goal? Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll get to that. So we will roll a Tinkerer's check. And see if you can make some Boss headphones.
Eat spider
It's
egg.
pronounced Bose.
Okay. Let's take a 5-minute break, and we will be right back. And the plan is teleport to your mom's house. You do some tinkering, and then you're going to teleport back. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I want to go to the magic shop in town real quick, see if they have a crystal ball while we're there.
See if they have a
Yeah.
crystal ball. And
I want to pick up my potions.
Okay.
We're going to We're going to Decatur's town first.
Oh.
I want to go to that magic shop.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
You want to go to? Let me see. Varisia, Azun, Codex, Azun, Free City, Isle, Burn, Volcanium.
See if they have a crystal ball. Check for anything cool.
Monarch Valley
Just
is
do
the
that
name
in
of the
town real
town.
quick.
Where's Varisia? Grigaldon, Exalted, Kingdom of Astaria, Magocracy, Media, Quick Notes, Eloise, Netadron, Demanic, Rokugan, Barovia, Thay, Volcanium, Quicksava, Khazad-dûm. Varisia, there it is. I passed by it twice. The Monarch Valley.
Also, maybe see if said magic shop also has any silence spell scrolls. Maybe that could
Also
also
useful.
counteract this effect.
Grab a few of those and just carry them or pop them and carry them around with us.
Yeah. I don't know if the effect would travel with us or if it'd be just like a grenade where you're just casting, boof, no sound in that area.
Pretty sure it works like my darkness spell, where you can cast it on an item and move it with you, or you can cast it just like on a area. I think. I could be wrong.
I'd have to take a look. Scroll. Okay. All right, I've got stuff. They got stuff there. All right.
Cool. Take a quick break.
All right.
Break time.
Break time. I'll see everybody in 5 minutes. After these messages, we'll be right back. Right? Like an angel.
In the eyes of an angel, fly away from here.
Well, there go all of our sponsors.
We didn't need them.
Yeah. Sponsors here need some. I'll be right back. I'm going to make myself a little bit more coffee, I think. Wake myself up. So back on the wagon.
You excited for the Aliens game, Trey?
Oh, fuck yeah. After
I
the
hope
colossal letdown that
yeah.
Colonial Marines was.
I hope it's better than that. I hope to God it's better than that.
It looks like it'd be hard to fuck it up the way they're doing it. Like Left 4 Dead style.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same, like it could still fail tremendously. So I'm hoping that it doesn't. If it's like rated like a 7 or an 8, worth it. That I'll buy it and play it. Might even still do something with it if it's rated like a 6.
Sure.
But if it's like rated like a 5 out of 10, nah.
When is it released?
It's supposed to be sometime in summer this year.
Oh wow.
So they surprised us with that.
That's exciting.
Which gives me some hope because it's like Colonial Marines was so hyped anyway. It kind of feels like probably most of their budget went into hyping it up than actually developing the game.
Making sure the aliens reacted the right way.
Yeah, that's still one of my like pet peeves about that game, where it's like you just ignored like 3 other Marines and came right at me. Why?
Yep.
And also, those 3 other Marines aren't hitting anything at all.
Yep. That was so much fun. So, like, no matter how bad that game was, it was fun to play.
It was fun to play, especially since I had those like interesting weapon download options. Like Ripley's pulse rifle flamethrower combo, and then there was the I think there was like a phase plasma rifle, and then there was that one that shot the explosive darts. I think we used the hell out of that gun. But it was a while ago.
You know that's been like 6 years ago now.
Yeah, we've known each other a while.
Yeah. Wow.
Do you regret it? Do you regret knowing me?
Oh, not one bit, Trey.
Okay.
Not one bit.
Yay.
I do regret that we had to meet at Hy-Vee, though.
Yeah. Fucking Hy-Vee, man.
Yep.
What did you do at Hy-Vee?
We worked at Hy-Vee together. That's how me and Matt met.
Oh.
We were reaching for the same box of pasta, and our hands touched, and we were like, "We're gonna be friends."
Oh, I was gonna go. We were gonna be in love, but I guess
suddenly appeared.
Yeah. But yeah, he was a manager at the Altoona Hy-Vee, and I had transferred from Iowa City to Altoona.
Ooh.
And like, I'm pretty sure Matt can agree with me on this one, but that was probably one of the most like the other Hy-Vees we came from were a lot more cooler atmospheres than the Altoona Hy-Vee.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It was a shit show.
It felt very corrupt, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I mean, Altoona, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
Altuna's
There were just a lot of assholes.
Working there
Altoona?
at the Altoona Hy-Vee, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, granted, it is Altoona, where all the white people at,
Yeah.
and none of them dockies. I don't think we had any ethnicities working for us at the Altoona Hy-Vee. I'm trying to think, and I don't remember.
I can't remember his name. We played D&D with him for a little while. When we were with
Pat.
Pat, yes, Patrick.
Yeah.
He might have been the one.
He was the one, and he was like a quarter black, I think. Like he was very mocha latte.
Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, I think he was the only one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was.
Okay. All right. I got my tea. I have my tea, Miss Tully. All right. Not bad. 9 o'clock. You guys having fun?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I hate this. I don't ever want to play again. I'm kidding.
All right, then.
Fine.
Wait, where'd Rutherford go? What's this red stain on the floor? Oh, God.
Who's
There's a
Rutherford?
better
I
sniper
suddenly
somewhere
forgot.
with a bigger gun.
Ruther who? I never heard of this person.
Brother who?
Brother who? Oh, that would be the worst death if your character died and no one could remember him. Like there's a couple monsters that can do that if they kill you.
Oh, why do we have this extra cabin on the ship with
Mhm.
stuff in it?
Whose stuff is this?
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be terrible. Fate worse than death. Oblivion.
Yeah, kind of like what we're dealing with here, apparently.
So
Ooh.
So your plan after that is to try to, while we're waiting, Trey, go ahead and roll me a Tinkerer's Tools check.
Yeah, that'll be intelligence plus proficiency.
Yep.
So it'll be this plus 6.
You technically have a Tinkerer's Room, so you get a +2 to that as well for equipment.
So it's a 12.
Okay.
Thank Christ. Because I rolled a 4.
That's fine. That's fine. You're proficient. You can make them. It's going to take you the day, right?
Yep.
But you can make a piece for every person in the party. Essentially, what it's going to do is it's going to act like the spell deafness, right?
Ooh.
It's essentially just like some suction cones, right? You're able to you put like some rubber ends on them. You kind of push them so
No,
that
they're plungers.
they're very similar to the idea of a plunger, right? But it's basically the idea is you're going to take this you're able to take some kind of grease, right?
Uh-huh.
You're able to take that grease. You're going to have people make sure they shave around their ears, right? But you think if you can get them there, you can get them on them, and you can with this grease and just kind of push them against, just like with the air suction, will keep it on. And definitely you got like a headband on, so it's almost kind of like a helm. It's going to take up your helm slot to have them, but it will act as long as you have them on, it'll act as if you have the spell deafness on you.
Okay. Decadic might have some problems.
They can be knocked off though, so it would take some force. It would take a grapple check to knock them off.
Tell you what, though, when you pull them off, whole bunch of ear goo is going to come flying out because of the
Right.
suction.
Yeah, the suction keeps them on.
I mean, your
To pull
eardrum,
them off, you'd have to grab them and you'd have to
Eardrum,
rip 'em
any earwax. You just,
half your brain.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice little pop. Oh, gotta come out.
Oh,
Good.
definitely.
I actually had to get earwax cleaned out one time
Oh,
at the doc because it was like literally like my hearing. It felt like I was going deaf in one ear.
Mm-hmm.
These fucking jelly bean size chunk of wax, just oh my god, it was insane.
Ouch.
That's why don't use Q-tips in your ears. That's why. That's what it does.
Wait till you get old.
yes, Obi-Wan.
Yeah. So you hit a certain age and hair starts growing in your ears, which makes all that stuff stick in there even more.
Ugh.
Those over-the-counter earwax kits actually work.
Ooh.
And that's
Yeah, but-
why you don't take vaccines. They'll make the earwax grow in your head. And that's
Yeah.
how you get the autism. It's a
Don't-
three-step process.
You don't want Bill Gates putting microchips in your ear canal.
I read it online. That means it's true.
Mhm.
www.truthbomb.com with
Yeah.
3 T's for extra truth.
Truthbomb.ru.
.ru.net.
I read it on my
.com.
smartphone that tracks my every movement and transaction. So I'm careful to make sure government can't trace me.
That's why I destroyed my microwave.
it's extra nice how they all default with front-facing cameras now too, or face-facing ones.
Yeah.
Oh, you got rid of your flip phone finally?
I missed it.
Yeah, there's something nice about just the flippiness of the flip phone. I don't know.
I liked having that slider phone with a keyboard on it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
The Star Trek flippy phone thingy.
Yeah, I had one at the
I remember when the
You
razors
have to hold
just
the phone
came out and you could just
horizontal.
go and they
No, well, the Razors came back. They've got a Razor flip phone back, but it's
Yes.
all a touch screen.
And it's
Oh.
hideously expensive.
Oh yeah.
well the,
Like what, $1,200 or something like that?
I was talking about there was a razor that was kind of like it was like literally you'd hit a button and it would just shoot up.
Yeah.
And just like occasionally it
Oh.
would break and you'd have to grab it and like force and like pull it up. But
Yes.
it would be like it was like a knife and be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Like in the Matrix.
And you're like, you're like, yeah,
Huh.
it's kind of neat for a while.
Remember the first Iron Man movie when Tony Stark's high-tech cell phone had like the rotating screen,
Yes, yes.
just like go like that to like make calls.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but the latest high-tech.
Cutting edge for 2007.
Like that scene, like that first scene in the Hummer when he's talking with the soldiers, that boombox they're listening to AC/DC on. We had that model at my Target store at the time. And I was like, "Hey, I know that."
Jesus.
What,
Anyway,
Rex, I think was a brand. Yeah. Anyways,
oh, we're still waiting for Dr. Scarlet Maladendo. But
Oh, you can go ahead and start.
oh, okay, all right.
My back was just had a twinge, so I'm laying on the floor for a second.
Oh, okay, all right.
Sorry.
sounds like hard work to me.
Sorry, that's not funny, but it is kind of funny.
He's fallen and he can't get up.
So,
Please don't make fun of him.
Hey, your mic sounds like you're far away.
You're gonna burn 100
Yeah.
copper worth of chalk then to use a teleportation circle.
Yep. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I got enough for 3 teleports total, so I'll use one of those and just
Okay.
draw it out on the. Where would I do it on the ship? Probably in the galley where the hearth is, since that's like our waypoint apparently of coming and going.
Okay.
Hey, the ship will reimburse you for that too.
So
I
Sumar.
have to claim it on my taxes.
So as you come back in, Sumar's like doing dishes, and she just turns around like, fine. And she just walks.
I just mop floor.
It's just chalk. It cleans up easy. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
You mop floor next time.
Yeah. Oh, fine. It cleans up early. Then you mop the floor, little man.
I just look up at the half-orc woman like, yes, I will gladly do that. Thank you very much. And your cooking has been especially exquisite lately. Just let you know. Compliments to chef.
No smart mouth from bench press you.
The trick is chicken bouillon in everything.
I think it's chicken. May not be chicken.
Vegetarian dishes I asked for. That's fine. Yes.
Chicken flavored broccoli.
Yeah, chicken bouillon is vegetarian.
It's not chicken.
Meat.
Yeah.
Chicken bird.
Yeah.
It's not chicken, therefore vegetarian.
Yeah.
Chicken isn't vegan?
Once you were vegan, now you will be God.
All right. So yeah, my God will gather up the hearthstone from the hearth, and I'll draw the circle on the floor before it.
Okay. You know the circle you're going to. You've successfully memorized it. And I'm guessing everyone just stands ready in the circle. And as you complete it, literally the world shifts around you, and you're standing in the middle of a hedge mage. And it is, it's actually the same time of day because you are literally in the same sliver. Maybe it's like an hour ahead in the day, right? Because it's forward, up, and a little bit over to the right. So,
thank God.
Boy, is that hedge mage surprised.
Yeah. Well, luckily they've been told, so like you're not like giving a gardener a heart attack. So, your mother is waiting there, right? She has a floating, what appears to be kind of like the chair that Professor X would be in, except for like the floating one. It's that one, yes. Right? It's just this nice chair. It appears to be in like a cone, like a eggshell kind of like shape, except it's open on the inside, and it's just cushioned and it's floating. It's basically got the floating disc spell on it, and she just kind of pulls it along. She's like, "Oh well, yes, and who am I to have the pleasure of?"
Yes, Mother. Allow me to introduce. This is the Lady Evelyn Smoot of Hyannisport on the Chappaquiddick, the esteemed mother of our first mate, Edwin, who you met previously. My lady, may I introduce my mother, Elowyn Thornbrook. She's in charge of the estate here.
Practical question.
Yep.
What languages does Mom speak?
Your mother speaks. Roll me a percentile to see if she actually speaks Varisian. There's a chance. She's an educated woman, and she's bored at home.
Ooh.
It is... Once it rolls...
It is both every and no number at the same time.
14.
Oh shit, did we choose low or high? Good for you.
Fuck if I know.
Okay, roll it again. Let me know, low or high. Good for you.
Low good me.
Okay, go ahead and roll again.
$42.
She does. Oh, Varisian, yes, of course. And she'll bow and she'll address the lady of the house. Decadic's mother will give a curtsy back, and she like, yeah, welcome to the Monarch Estate. And she will pull out some mimosas, and your mother will have a seat, and they're going to sip mimosas. And as your mother walks off throughout the maze, they just seem to be chatting back and forth to each other. And she's like, "Oh, it was absolutely dreadful." And your mother, like, "Oh, tell me about it." And they just seem to start chatting as they're walking around. Well, she's walking in the maze. Your mother's sitting in a floating chair that seems to be following Decadic's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Right.
God, Smoot! I just realized they're gonna swap baby stories about us. Oh God.
I don't care about the baby stories.
I'm pen pals.
It's the teenage stories I'm worried about.
You know what? I think Scarlett's gonna have a hard time. Like, who does she say is the father of her made-up baby? There are two mothers here. She wants to mess with both of them, but she can't be pregnant with two different guys' babies at the same time.
Or can she?
Dum dum dum.
You are not the father.
This is a conundrum.
Okay.
Pregnant with twins that are sisters from other misters.
So, what do you guys do? You're now kind of standing there. You hear Decadic's mother and Smoot's mother talking distantly. You hear some laughs in the garden hedge.
Before they totally leave our line of sight,
Okay.
I will kind of follow up really quick and just say hey, here's just her first treatment of care. Just make sure this, and this, and she should be okay. Her post hospital stay. Here's what you should do, kind of thing.
Okay.
And then just general medical advice for the Smoot's mother as well.
Oh yes. Oh, fantastic. Yes. Thank you for the advice. It's actually quite good. I didn't know that you were knowledgeable about such.
They don't call me Dr. Scarlet for nothing, madam. I am medically determined.
Have you now?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, I am certified in all things medical.
Interesting. Oh well, that's fantastic. All things medical, and you, of course, and which medical school do you hail from?
Oh, the one in Berelia, the one that you were about to say the name of, that one.
Oh yes, Ungusford.
Yes, that particular one that you have just said is the one that I happen to have attended.
I myself used to teach medicine in the Andric Academy here in Varisia. I was for a short time. I was the head of my department.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, I'm sorry. Decadic is calling me. Yes, I'm coming.
Yes, we should talk sometime. Swap notes.
Okay, but I can't. I go through tunnel.
Good to see you, Doctor.
But Doctor, you seem so insistent, Scarlet. You wanted to talk to my mother. Why?
Oh, I just had to speak to your mother about Kea for Smoot's mother. Smoot, I had to speak to his mother about your mother. The mother's okay. This is all right. Someone's mom has to get taken care of, and someone else's mom has got to do it.
Crazy.
So many milfs.
I'm not drawing that for you, Corey. I don't care how much.
Deeply uncomfortable with that.
You know what? Because of that, no wells and no drawings. I'm out.
Jesus.
No,
Does that mean Krasdak's coming back?
I wish. No, yeah, I just had to make sure, level of care. But she should be fine. Everyone should be good. So I think, if we want to explore the town or anything, I think Smoot's mother is in good hands.
Yes. If we want to see if the magic shop has anything that could be of use, or if you simply want to rest on the estate grounds here, you're all more than welcome. You've been here before.
There is something I would like to try to find at the magic shop as well. I'd like to see if we can get another rope trick. Because I would like a portable.
Whoa! Don't. Careful with that word around Decadic.
Might trigger.
Hey, Captain! I would like a long, stringy thingy that looks like a prank, but starts with a T.
Okay. There is a.
Is it an illusion? A trick is something a whore does for money.
There's a.
We know you turned tricks, Scarlet. It's not a secret.
So, Decadic, you would know that there is a blacksmith shop in town. He's a Fletcher primarily. So, arrows and bows is what he specializes in. Mostly arrows. There's an alchemist.
I would like to look for magic rings.
There's an alchemist shop. Let me see. There is a jeweler's. There is a jeweler's shop. So you could find a magic ring at the jeweler's shop. And there is an enchanter's shop, which is owned by your mother. It's owned by your family. Called the Temple of the Path. And Heldari Handili. Oh, that's a name. Here. You see if you guys can pronounce this.
Give it to me.
The DM really wants us to be immersed.
Adare Hanali.
Yeah.
Adari Hanali runs the shop for you. He is a distant relative, like a fourth cousin on your mother's side.
Ooh,
Okay.
Also,
I like that name.
yeah, that's Norgen's last name too.
Uh-oh.
Back on the ship.
Is it? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Randomly generated.
Or is it red?
That's incredible.
Dun, dun,
Is
dun.
it possible that Norgem may be related to you very distantly?
Hmm.
Good God.
Might have to explore his backstory. By the way, every member of the crew has their own plot. None of you have chased any of them, but each one technically has their own plot. So
I like
if you
it.
ever get bored, there's like 20 plots just floating on the ship.
I think we should follow Meekop's plot.
You're
Yes, please.
going back to the island might be a problem.
Hoping I'm the villain at the end of that plot.
The villain was you the whole time.
Okay, it's in the Temple District. The street outside is lined with low stone. The description: the enchanter is a log. The enchanter shop is a log cabin with an orange shingled roof, shiny hardwood floors. It contains low ceilings and a painting that seems to be watching you. The painting is a painting of Decadic's great grandfather, but on his mother's side. And basically the family members on that side as well. Some kids, some sons, some daughters. Actually, no. A bunch of kids, one son, and a few daughters. And a man and a wife. And they just seem to like, you feel like their eyes like magically will follow you. And if you split off, like, they'll like, different ones might be looking at you, but the eyes just kind of move. It's part of the... Decadic knows that it's a part of the magic of the painting, but it's also a security system.
If anyone points it out, I just pretend I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. What
I
are you
like
talking
that.
about? Yeah.
Like, no, it's just a certain way it's painted. It's not actually watching you. What are you talking about?
Arnadali is in there. As you go in, he's friendly, welcoming. They're about him. General. He has black, long hair that is slightly less kept. He is himself a wizard, but he just kind of doesn't pay attention to his physical features that much. He has gray eyes, and he's slightly taller than normal, kind of like Norgen. He's tall and bulky for an elf, right? Muscular almost. And he's like, "Oh, welcome to the shop. Welcome back to Decadic. How can I help you? And your friends are back. Excellent. You're going to stay in town long?
No, this will be a brief visit. You're interested, though, to see if we had any magical armaments we could use to defend ourselves with.
Well, armaments. I primarily deal in scrolls and wondrous items. It depends. Are you looking for some magical components? Or specifically scrolls? I do have a few magical arms, but they're mostly just things that have kind of crossed our path over the years, mostly in trade. And a few items. I have... what is it you wish to accomplish? I've got some scrolls, climbing, healing, some cantrips, detecting evil, expeditious retreat, mostly clerical in nature, primal savagery, right? Some shaping water, a thunderous smite, right? Make that weapon hit a little bit harder. I do have this very fine crystalline dart. It's as hard as steel. I have this light hammer from the Khazad-dûnians. Interesting make, made of mithril. Strongest steel I've ever seen. It tends to never chip. It seems to dig right into the stone. It's +1. A club. A club that glows green whenever danger's about to occur. It warns you of such an event. I have this bottle.
What's your? Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
what are your more top shelf items?
Oh, top shelf. Yes, I have this. I have this plate armor here. It's beautiful green dressing with a silveren sheen. It's made of alaric, right, which is an angelic metal. Specifically, apparently, that was mined in Khazad-dûm. It's said to have celestial properties. It's sturdier than most, and it tends to mend itself over time. It's said to be +2 plate, but it is half plate. +2 half plate. I have this beautiful harp. No, it's not big. It's like this big. This beautiful harp.
Sailed up.
Ridiculous.
It's called the Harp of Ansarith. Harp of Ansarith. Let me look at it. Let me see which one it is.
What does it do?
It controls the weather. It cures wounds. And it can create a wall of thorns.
Oh.
How much is that?
Billion.
It is an amount.
I will pay an amount.
10. It is 10,
I select one.
It is 10,000 copper pieces.
Cha-chinga. If anyone else, is anyone else seriously going to try to take this from me?
Scarlet.
Yes.
Well, I was hearing earlier that Decadic played a harp when he was younger, I think, or was that Smoot? One of you did.
I will cut you.
Smoot,
Can
you
you
get
buy it?
flashbacks of memories
You got
of your
the money
mother
for
trying to make you play the harp, and you're like, nope, and just walking away.
Um,
It's like the uncle when they buy you a guitar, and you're like, well, great, I never wanted to play, and I have no interest, but Merry Christmas, I guess. And you said it in the corner.
this is the magic shop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the enchanters.
Have you asked about a rope trick yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Pardon me, sir. Do you happen to have a rope trick?
Oh, a scroll of rope trick. No, I do not.
Damn.
Uh,
Interesting, though.
if you're
I
looking for
am
that
interested in your
scroll,
harp.
I do know some druids that could scribe it on bark for you. There are a few wizards, of course, myself. I do not personally possess the spell, but I could send away for a scroll.
Is that what? Did we have a scroll of rope trick before?
No, you
We had
guys
the item before.
you guys
It was
had
an
a
item.
rope of rope trick.
The Tinkerer on Freeport owns it currently.
Okay.
Yes.
But we have the parrot.
Yeah. I'll show her.
I'm interested in your harp.
Oh, of course. Beautiful harp. It's carved from elephant tusk, right? And there's the finer points are actually antelope bone, and it's been merged and mended together with magic, and then the strings themselves are actually made of unicorn hair. We have a couple replacement strings in case one breaks, but unicorn hair itself can only be cut by an evil weapon. It itself is stronger than steel.
How much would you knock off the price if I also threw in Qual's feather token and a filter of love?
Cole's feather token. It's an interesting thing, I guess, if I need to plant a tree.
This one would make a whip
Oh, a whip.
that floats in the air that you can use to attack people with.
Well, I suppose I could cut off 20 copper for the feather token.
And this filter of love.
Potion, I myself am not an alchemist. But I suppose I could cut off another 25 copper for the potion. So together, how about 50 copper? I'll cut off 50 copper from the total amount. 9,950 copper for the harp in exchange.
That's a deal. Let's do that.
All right. Takes those
How
two
much
items.
was it? 9,950?
Yep, 9,950. And you can add Instrument of the Bards, Anzareth Anzareth's harp. It is yes. Instrument of the Bards, exquisite make. Basically, the DC against it. A creature attempting to play the instrument without being attuned to it must make a DC without taking some psychic damage. As an action, you can play the instrument and cast one of the spells.
Charmed.
Can't use the
Fly.
same spell again until the next dawn.
Yeah, levitate, protects from evil, control weather, cure wounds at 5th level, or wall of thorns.
Mm-hmm.
Control weather though, 8th level. God damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I was liking about it.
can't use.
And the Wall of Thorns.
Wow, the other stuff is all good. Control weather is enough to buy it on its own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it can cast one of its spells. Okay, you can use an action. Okay, so each one of these spells can be cast once a day or only once?
Once a day, you can cast a spell. But yeah, each of the spells once a day is what I get out of that anyway.
You can use an action to play the instrument and cast one of its spells.
Because it can't be used to cast that spell again until the next dawn.
Okay, so yeah, you basically get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 free spells a day.
That thing's bonkers.
The spell uses
Invisibility,
that's
damn.
fucking crazy. You play the instrument while casting the spell that causes any of the targets to be charmed. On a failed saving throw, they thereby imposing disadvantage on the save. Okay.
So since the spells, like the ones that it can cast, they're concentration. So I would still have to make a concentration check.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's like I'm playing it while I'm
Yes.
casting it, right?
If a scroll or anything requires concentration to exist,
Yeah.
you have to concentrate on it. Even
Good.
anybody can concentrate. But
Perfect. Okay.
okay, that's
So yeah, I didn't want to get the wrong idea of but I cast it with an item, Tony.
It's attunement, but it is a badass item for a bard. It is crazy good.
Did you see the other part on there at the bottom? You can play the instrument while casting a spell that causes any of its targets to be charmed on a failed saving throw, thereby imposing disadvantage on the save.
Yeah.
Only apply if the spell has a somatic.
Because bards cast spells through their instruments.
Right.
That's your focus.
But disadvantage on charms when he's using it? That's awesome.
Yeah. Is your character proficient in the harp?
Yes, she is.
Okay. That's perfect. That'd be the only other thing is like it's a harp. Can you play the harp? I thought I'd mentioned
It's
that
not
before.
downtime. You're learning to play it.
You've got
Next
the item.
month on the ship sucks. Just pling, plang, pling. Oh, God.
Who knew unicorn?
Rutherford starts making requests. Freebird!
Yeah, no,
Thank God it's not the accordion.
Stop playing Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, there's
Nothing else
lyre
matters.
is what counts
Yeah.
because there is no actual harp. You can be
Lyre
proficient in
and harp
lyre.
are the same.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
That'd be a
just clarify.
stringed instrument. He will say, I do have two
Freebird.
potions of
Not all
superior-
stringed instruments.
I do have 2 potions of superior healing. I'm not sure. I believe the alchemist owed us some money, and he paid one of his bills with it once. And I have that scroll of Windwalk. Wait, actually, you bought that already, Decadic, didn't you? So
Yeah, I still got
do
that.
not have that currently.
On the subject of scrolls, though, you say that you can commission scrolls for specific spells from the druids?
Yes. It'll take a day, but yes.
In that case, I would be most interested in procuring a spell scroll for the silence spell.
Oh, yes. I could talk to the Grove. Silence will probably take a day to have one of them crafted. I could send word now. You just need one?
How much would it be total to procure one of those?
Well, it depends on how quick you. Normally, a scroll of silence would cost you about 120 copper pieces. But to have someone drop what they're doing and spend an entire day doing it on the fly, it's going to cost you about 200 copper pieces per scroll.
Let's go with 3 scrolls, if possible.
Yes, very possible. They'll be ready tomorrow morning.
Very good. I'm sure we can ask my mother if we can stay the night here. If you gents and Scarlet don't mind staying here for the night.
Good. Yeah.
Should be fine.
Very well. I can pay that now, unless I pay at delivery.
Oh, yes. I mean, you can pay a delivery. I mean, I literally know where you live and we're family. It'll be awkward.
Yes, I'll just pay it now. Just settle that up now.
Oh, of course. Yes, 600 will be fine. I mean, that's a family price right there.
Yes. And I'll take out my very light money bag and get 600 copper out and set that out.
Okay. He'll take the 600 copper, and he'll be like, "All right, well, let me go get that now. I'll probably have to close up shop and go down to the Grove, but there are a few druids to the south that I can commission."
Before you go, did you have any crystal balls that could be used for scrying?
Actually, yes, I do possess a few instruments. Do you just want a crystal? You need a spherical crystal.
Yes, and one that allows others to see what I scry upon as well.
Of course. I believe if you're using it specifically for that spell scry, it needs a certain cost to it as well.
Yes.
Yes. Of course, that'll be 1,000 copper pieces, but I do have one, actually 2 in the back. One for my personal use, one for sale in case a magus happens to make his way by.
Excellent. I will buy that from you. Thank you.
Okay, he'll grab it up. Do you want the white one or do you want the green one?
The green one, of course.
Of course. Yeah, there you go. Put the white one back. All right.
I feel like it's very stereotypical of you to choose that color.
Is that racist for you to pick your own skin color?
Yeah. It's not racist to be proud of this.
Oh,
God damn it. Don't get me started on this.
Technically, that'd be species.
I don't want we don't want to go there.
Speciesist. Race would be if like
it's going to come across weird.
Race would be if you're a different offshoot of a different type. Like if you're a half elf and an elf, that would be a race thing, right? Yeah. But if you're like a Quixavian, it's a different species.
It goes well with my green scales, all right? Is that so wrong?
Speciesist, yes. So, all right. Well, is there anything else you gentlemen need? I have to head south now.
Should be on.
Yep, I think that's all we need.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, he'll walk outside. As he does, he locks up the shop as you guys are walking past. He takes a piece of leather cloth that he has that's been kind of over what looked like a couple barrels. He flips it back in this weird metal monstrosity with 2 rubber wheels. I'm describing a motorcycle. He hops on it, and all of a sudden, he just starts going down the road in an Azunian motor vehicle.
Ooh.
Looks way easier to control than the one I bought from the guy in Freeport.
Oh, right, the one you got.
That one just goes like forward like 600 feet for like 10 turns.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure that's just once it starts. You can get off. It's going still.
Faster. Like yours is pretty much a crotch rocket. It only goes in one direction.
Literally a rocket.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys wanted?
Did you ever take the scroll Sunbeam that I have and add it to your spell book, by the way?
No, I think we talked about it, but hadn't done that yet. But yes, I can take that off your hands. Thank you, Captain.
Yes.
Okay.
And, Neil, did you want to look at magic rings?
The jeweler.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Just a quick look.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, sorry. The blue trinkets. Nivara Gendriel, female elf. What is your description? Well-shaped woman. Appears middle-aged for an elf, which means she looks like she's 20. She's wearing perfectly clean shirt and a pair of pants. Red hair that's very lengthy and very wavy. Kind of like Medusa from the Inhumans. Right? That kind of hair. Right? Just long, almost ankle-length hair. Very wavy. And wears violet clothing. With white undergarments. She's definitely a sun elf, but more with reddish hair, pale skin. She's like, the description of the shop is it's in the Adventurers District. There's a statue of your father outside. The street outside is recently paved and worn brick and has a town crier with the latest news and gossip. Oh, wow. Okay, latest news and gossip. Latest news and gossip is 3 things. He's going to be talking about the war effort to the west. There's currently there's trench warfare happening along the Thayan no man's zone. The Varisians are holding off the Thayan forces, but the Thayans have begun the march. The other one is there's Berillians to the south, and there is news of Cannoneers laying siege to a small town towards the south, but that a contingent of Elven Rangers have made their way out there and are dispatching the Cannoneers and most of the slave pikemen of the Berillian forces. It mostly just talking about they believe that they'll be able to dispatch them in a couple weeks, but this is the 3rd such raid on the southern border of Varisia. Town crier, let me look at the date, see what else world events are going on. This is Amistad. Wars kind of happen up. Let me see. Currently it is the 20th of Mala, right?
18th of Mala.
18th of Mala. 18th of Mala. Okay, so you're fine on the 18th of Mala. Town crier, 18th of Mala, 18th of Mala, 18th of Mala, 18th of Mala. Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. That hasn't happened yet. That's happened yet. Oh, okay. Fuck, that happened. There was an attempted assassination on the Queen of Varisia. There was an explosion. They believe that they've apprehended the people that did it. There's a trial that's currently happening. They apparently had stolen a ship from the Magocracy, made port in town. They've, of course, taken back the ship. It was easy enough to find that they had stolen it. They didn't have the proper documentation, and none of them were Carthalian. They tried to kill the queen with a letter and a bunch of assassins that had just shown up, Thayan assassins. But they were easily dispatched, and the Red Razor showed up just in time to make them surrender.
Corey, did you know anything about this?
My B team character might have delivered the letter. We didn't know it would explode. Yeah. So you're welcome.
No.
I totally forgot about that, Tony.
It's about the right time. About the right time.
Damn.
Yeah.
All this hustle, I forgot about the renewed conflicts between our countries. I wonder what caused that occur, Doctor?
Yeah, back to being. I am not confident in learn. I am not happy to learn this information. Really is not one to shy away from war, but it wouldn't be a good outcome for anyone for us to be involved in such matters.
Yes, especially at this time. The last thing we need is more wars breaking out across the world.
Mm-hmm. I do hope, though, that our country's antics do not taint our friendship.
No, not at all. Of course not, Doctor. And I'm certain that as long as you're with me, I don't think anyone here in town would give you any trouble at all. And if they do, I will be sure to stick up for them, as you and Smoot did for me back at that barbershop, which I never did thank you for that, by the way.
I take care of my patients.
You guys make it to the jeweler's shop. Description: the jeweler is a plaster single-story building with a red-tiled roof and a nicely trimmed hedges. It contains curtains draped over the walls and beaded gems hanging from the rafters. Beaded gems hanging from the rafters. So as you kind of look up, it's kind of like they have these gems that are kind of hanging on almost like beaded necklaces, and they just kind of twinkle and shine as the lights from below kind of just hit them just right. Lots of different cuts. As you're there, a female elf, once again as described, light skin, wearing violet with a long red wavy hair, kind of looks up at you. She appears to have a monocle on and a strap across the eye. She appears to be looking at a gem currently, and she has some interesting tools. She seems to be like making some cuts. As you walk through the door, ding ding, she just kind of stops and kind of looks up, and she just kind of takes the monocle and just kind of pulls it off, waves her hair, and oh yes, oh Decadic, oh how are you? It has been quite some time. How's your mother?
Doing very well, thank you.
Oh yes, I'm currently working on the commission. Right, it's going to take some months, but I am confident it will be up to specs. Anyway, is there something else? Have you come in for anything else? Has your mother sent you? Do you have some requirements, or what is it that you want?
Actually, my good friend over here would like to look through your wares.
Of course.
Magic rings.
Oh, magical rings. I just thought normal. I am specifically, yes, jewelry. I have earrings. I have necklaces. Specifically, a ring is what you're looking for?
A necklace would do.
A necklace? Would you be partial to an earring?
No.
Are you sure? I think you would look fetching. Maybe just one on the left. That is the style.
No.
All right. All right. All right.
I would pay Neil. I would pay you actual money in real life to put an earring on Smoot. Just one.
He would draw.
But I want it to be like a big gaudy mess of an earring.
Okay.
Just one.
Okay. Magic items. Roll me a d20 3 times, and I'll see which items there are.
Alrighty, let's see here.
First one. What do you got?
18.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ring of water walking. With this ring, you'll be able to walk on water as if it was a solid substance. Nothing? All right.
No.
I can make it
5.
Yeah. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a ring of free action. While you wear this ring, terrain that is normally difficult is not. You will always find sure footing. Also, Magical effects that normally reduce your speed, paralyze you, or restrain you will not do such. You'll be as if you are like the wind. You flow through it. Arms that try to grapple you will just fall off.
Interesting. Let's see. And the third one is a 1.
Yes. This is a ring of animal influence, right? Very popular around these parts, especially with some of the more powerful beasts. It itself has charges, and you can utilize those charges to befriend animals, to make beasts scared of you, or to speak with animals.
A ring of free action. How much is that?
Oh, the Ring of Free Action. Yes, it's quite the item. It is a ring. I believe it is 5,000 copper pieces.
Does it require attunement?
Yes, it does.
Never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
So does.
I'm done.
The Ring of Animal Influence does not.
How about necklaces?
No, they only had 3. I rolled earlier to see how many
Okay.
magical items. The rest is
No worries.
just a jeweler's shop. So.
That's cool.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. Well, come again.
Yeah, sure we will.
And Decadic, wonderful choice, my boy.
Sure, yes. Thank you for work on that.
Of
And
course.
awkwardly walk away.
She'll go back. She'll put the thing back on, and yeah, you guys walk off. Okay.
Before we leave, what Decadic commission you for?
Captain, it's really nothing to worry about. It's fine. We can just go.
All right then.
Ooh, all right.
You boys have a good time.
I'm more interested.
If you happen to make it by the tavern later, I'm single.
Oh,
And you just kind of walk, and you guys just kind of walk off.
Scarlet moves back in. Oh, you said single now.
No.
I hate this town.
She's not gay. Sorry, she's like.
Decaded. You rejected me.
It's okay, Doctor. Just it's fine. It's give here. I'll see. We'll have my mother's. We'll have the cooks at the house make up something for you. That's right. That's women like that chocolate when they're in distress. I don't know how to deal with this. Somebody please consult Scarlet. I'm not good at this sort of thing.
Strom will walk over
You
and
got
just
this.
pat her on the head and then walk away.
Ruffle her hair, walk off.
Okay,
That's a good halfway.
I feel better.
Yep. Well, it does say she'll subtly hit on. I guess it's a little abrupt, but yeah, it works. Yeah, I guess it's subtle as you're leaving. All right. So, what else you guys can do? You guys got an entire night of hanging out, or what do you want to do? What's your plan?
I would like to take a quick look at the Fletcher, see what the Fletcher has.
Oh, right. You walk over to the Fletcher's place. That is called the blacksmith shop is called the Community Buckle. It's also in the Temple District, right? Which isn't far. You guys kind of walk past it, but you kind of walk back. You probably walked by the place. Because it's a brick row house with a gray shingled roof. Tile flooring contains taxidermy birds hanging from the ceiling and fine weaponry hanging from poles stretched between the walls. The back side, the side of the building, it's a brick building, but it has an open concept side with some giant poles, so it's very open. There is a hearth, and there's a man working kind of under a gazebo kind of structure, right, with a metal, a large metal fire in the center, and kind of like a wooden, not wood, a brick-like container with a iron sheath upon it. And he seems to be pounding away at some very fine metals. Seems to be making like flattened arrowheads. He just seems to be like trying to. When there's a boy off to the side, kind of like sharpening them, and then he's just kind of pounding them, and they have a nice silverish color to them. Very fine make. It is a female elf. Anyways, I apologize. It was not a male elf. I read elf, and I assumed male. That bad on me.
How dare you?
Dark-skinned female elf. She has a bright tan leather jerkin on, and is wearing currently a longer kind of hat, oddly enough, while she is working, maybe to keep like her hair back. Tall, broad shoulders, powerfully built, and the wide-brimmed hat is rimmed with cuts and holes. Okay, kind of like a Freddy Krueger hat. And her fair skin shows signs of noble breeding. It's a word. I can't say the word. Aristocratic breeding. Thank you. And personality. Okay. And
Reminiscent of a dirty joke.
And her name is. I'll let you guys try to pronounce that.
Yeah, gimme. Elenia Nilo.
Elenia.
Nilo. You know that she doesn't like being called by her first name. She likes being called by her last name.
There, that's better.
Miss Nilo. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Little, and one of the apprentices kind of sharpening arrowheads.
For the weapons on the wall, are they bows, or are they swords? What do we got here?
Mostly a little bit of chainmail. Very fine chains. Very soft metals. As you kind of like grab it, it feels light as a feather, right? Almost as light. It's chainmail, but it's almost like a shirt. It's elven chain. They're mostly it's showcasing different types of arrows on the wall, and mostly just arrows. She has like a couple bows that seem fairly well strung, but mostly the signature of this place appears to be the arrows themselves. Several different varieties of arrows. She can make ammunition +1, ammunition +2. She can make elven chain, and she can make specific magic arrows if commissioned, like arrows of flaming, arrows of frost, arrows of slaying.
Okay. How much would it cost to commission, say, some arrows of flame?
You can ask her. Yeah. Oh yes. Flaming arrows. Yes. I could make. Normally, I'd make them in bundles. It's not worth it unless I do. I can make them. Might take me a few days. Believe it'll cost you about. For 20 of them, it'll cost you about, let's say, 800 copper? Well, are they just flaming arrows or something more specific?
What do you have in mind when you say more specific?
Well, I could make ones of flaming burst. That would be more specific. It would take me perhaps a week's worth of effort to build such, but if you wanted, they would not be like the others, except there would be a chance that they would explode when they hit.
That's pretty cool. How much would that cost?
I can make 10 for 1,500 copper pieces. They're made with ruby tips. And I would have to get the crafter involved to help me cut the heads.
I'm going to, well, now that the captain is gone, I will turn to the first mate and say, assuming that he's with us, how long do we plan on staying, Mr. Smoot?
I think just the night.
Okay. I see that you do. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Go ahead and talk.
I don't appear to have enough time to wait for that. But in the meantime, the bows that you have there, can you tell me a little bit about them?
Oh, yes. They're standard elven bows. They're finer than most. They have the long bows have the finer range. I do make several short bows. They are essentially finer and more accurate than the human variety. I work with the druids, and they specifically craft them out of iron wood. Those themselves, the bows themselves have a special property that they themselves can be staves and easily strung to then become long bows if you choose. The smaller ones can be clubs until you choose to string them, which I can show you the trick on how to string them properly, in which case they turn from a club into a short bow. Both, of course, are +1. Yeah, more so equivalent to the +1, she would say more accurate and sturdier variety. So it's a +1 bow, but it can also be used as a club if you do the short bow, or a staff if the long bow.
That's cool. I like that. Well, that is very interesting. I will have to ponder that. Do you happen to have any just regular arrows? I see plenty of fine arrows here, but do you have any standard arrows?
Yes, I'm making tons for the army. I have them by the bundle. Do you wish to go back to the crate? I have a crate of arrows I'm getting ready to ship. You could have as many as you're willing to buy.
How much would it be for a bundle of 20?
20 arrows? Oh, 20 arrows. It would be about, we could call it, I'm selling them to the army for a copper per. The Friends of Takedic offer you the same. 20 copper for 20 arrows.
I appreciate that. I will take 20 off of your hands.
Oh, of course. And she'll hand you 20 normal arrows.
Thank you very much, and I will definitely keep your shop in mind for the future.
Of course.
And then I don't need anything else, so okay. I'll head out.
All right.
I think we're done shopping. If you guys want to go back to the manor or to the tavern or whatever you feel like.
Back to the manor.
It's probably got some fine food and drink at your house, right, Takedic?
Yes, Mother should have prepared an excellent meal for us tonight.
Could definitely stand something beyond tavern food.
Okay.
Yes.
Shots with Takedic's family.
Well, my sister was in. She could give you a run for your money, probably.
So, as you guys make it back to the house, your mother is definitely there. Both of them seem very busy bossing around servants and they are busy putting everything together, right? They have an outdoor picnic. An outdoor dinner set up amongst. They've had all the fine tables from inside the house brought outside, which are put on fine tapestry-style blankets, and they are starting to put together a spread. Several of the servants have wine. You do notice that there's more guards around than you normally remember, Decadic. There's actually a contingent of about 25 guards that just seem to be stationed. 4 specifically are near the dining area where you guys are going to be eating. Just standard elven guards. They do have your father's sigil on them. And they seem to be hanging out.
Yes. Makes sense if we're in a state of war. We are fairly close to the southern border. Yes. Well, Mother, when will dinner be ready?
Oh, yes. Dinner will be ready in about an hour. Please, wash yourselves if you could, please.
Are we expecting any company?
The finest company in the land.
Oh. Such as...
Oh, you, of course. My son's come home.
I thought Red Razor was going to be showing up.
Wait a second.
I've had some clothes put together. I believe they will fit your friends. Please make sure they're wearing those. I don't want to see arms and armor at the dinner table.
Whoa.
Yeah, yes, of course. We can we'll be perfectly safe here with the guards stationed here.
Of course, you're home. You're safe as houses.
Right. Go off and get ready for this. I'm sure will be completely uneventful dinner coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We're going to relax, bathe, and pregame. Let's go.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yeah,
Show up hammered.
there are plenty of baths available. Each of you has a fine set of clothes that would fit you. Does everyone take off their arms and all that stuff and put on their clothes?
Oh, yeah.
Is there any place? How baggy are these? Would it be possible to hide my wakizashi?
Okay, you can attempt to with a sleight of hand check.
I would like to hide my wakizashi on my body because I don't feel safe without a sword of some kind.
Well, come on, you don't trust me?
No.
Nope.
Okay, go ahead.
Like
and roll
Wonder
sleight
Woman
of
it
hand.
between your shoulder blades.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. You're wearing exactly that outfit from Wonder Woman, right? Oddly enough,
He
it's
knows how
amazing
to
on
work it.
Yeah, roll me a sleight of hand check. Sleight of hand is like you're just trying to find ways to like hide it amongst your body, so it's not like
Can I do the same for my pistol?
Sure, if you want to bring a gun to dinner.
Just I assume whatever I'm wearing has a nice place to conceal a gun.
Okay.
I need to bring my flame hilt because that literally can't leave me. It's attuned to me. If it's not within 5 feet of me, it'll teleport to me.
Wow.
So you're gonna try to roll me a sleight of hand for that one. All right.
At least it's just a hilt. Okay.
I can't leave it outside, lady. It'll just follow me.
Just swallows his sword, and then pulls it out when he needs it.
I'll do it. Don't try me.
I'm not hiding anything. I'm just gonna wear my sword.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Oh, okay. All right. 7 plus 6 is 13, and 8. You're just wearing your sword, and Zorksan, go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
Yeah.
For the hilt. Technically, thinking about before I even look, you technically would have advantage because it looks just like a stick and it's small, right?
Excellent. Oh, good.
Put it on
I
a string,
went from
wear
a
it as an amulet.
4 to an 8.
You got a stick like just on your hip, right? You're just hoping Your sleight of hand is like, they just won't notice. Whatever. It just looks like a hilt. All right.
A pocket, more than half of it just sticking out.
Okay, so
I don't mind.
most of you are just badly hiding weapons at the dinner table.
Yep.
Let me see. Would she even notice?
That's what a 13 gets me.
Okay.
And I'm just off to the side, like, oh God, if our dad doesn't come here, Jesus Christ.
And she doesn't notice. She's got a +8 to her perception, so everybody that rolled above an 8 doesn't get her eye, like, So
She'll notice my stick.
she notices your stick, and her being a high-level cleric will be like, she's not dumb.
I ain't hiding shit. I'm just wearing it.
So try to convey with a shrug, I have no choice. What can I do?
Anyway, she doesn't give
Not a
away too
powerful
much.
drug.
You basically just get like the eye, right? Just like, all right. But all of you aren't wearing your armor, right? You're just wearing the clothes. Okay, that's fine.
No.
So let's just quick round table. It is everyone roll me a d12, just in case.
D12.
You'll be summoned to Kiddick's daddy.
God.
1.
2.
11.
Another one.
3 for me too.
I rolled 12. Okay, nothing happens. Everyone, describe to me a nice dinner, right? Decadic, how would your mother serve dinner, and how would she host it?
We would have multiple courses, of course, being appetizers and salads coming out first, and then choice of various dishes to choose from. Fish, chicken, vegetarian options. Probably have a dessert course too for those who wish to partake of it. And I imagine that my mother would probably be very chatty hostess, making sure everybody's taken care of, striking up at least a little bit conversation with everybody so they feel like they're included.
Okay, all right. Lots of elven wine, right? Her and Lady Smoot are getting along a lot. They just seem to be. She seems to be. You could tell that Lady Smoot is hungry for conversation, for just somebody. Like she was just very bored at home. And your mother
25 servants down to 1.
25 servants down to 1, right? And it's the one she didn't like. It was the butler.
I forgot about you, Rutherford. I'm sorry. You should have come. I guess I thought you were with us.
Yeah,
I thought you did the tinkering before we went.
I'm not. I said I would stay behind to work on these things.
Oh.
And you guys said you were going to be right back. So it's very nice.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Rutherford, I'm sorry.
We'll pack him a doggy bag.
As you're tinkering away, that robotic bird in the distance is like, they abandoned you, fucker. This isn't a Zunian, so.
I will think to at least send a message to Rutherford, just saying, we'll be staying the night here, actually, while we pick your supplies. You don't mind keeping an eye on the ship, keeping it running and out of trouble, won't you, Rutherford?
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
I thought he was going to say, wait, you guys left? Quiet.
If I could have you, I don't know, bring me home a doggy bag, that'd be cool. I like your mom's cooking. Or your mom's servants cooking.
Wink.
We can pick up a dog
Wink.
anywhere.
Right. We'll make
just
sure.
any street dog.
We'll make sure to save a plate for Rutherford, and something nice.
The elven version of Tupperware, perfectly fine.
Elvenware.
So, yes, Strom, what do you do during the dinner?
Who all is at the dinner? Is it basically just us and then Smoot's mother and
It's you guys, Smoot's mother. There appear to be a few people from town. The elven wizard you guys talked to earlier, and probably just a couple other people you guys don't recognize. Decadic, you'd recognize them as distant relatives from the countryside, right? And most of them just seem to have come into town because it's just safer at the estate, due to some of the Brillians to the south. One of the guests is a farmer whose wheat field was recently burned, and your mother just has kind of taken him in. He speaks about some of the horrors of the Brillians just trying to take more slave labor. Elves live longer, so that's a slave you can just hand down through the generations.
Nothing wrong with that. That's just how Borrelia do.
If you say that, you get a lot of skeptics.
Side-eye?
Just not.
Scarlet, maybe dictionary on the leaves.
You just should use undead anyway. It's free, much lower cost labor.
Can I cast tongues to figure out what the hell he just said to me?
Sure.
them fighting words?
X-ray on the who? I have a lot of X's, Decadic. You got to narrow it down by species first.
You came to dinner without it. Oh, you bold person.
Too much wine. Too much wine.
Yeah, Smoot kind of tries to cover for you. All right, so while Scarlet's being racist, Smoot's, what else do you do?
I am just pulling out my
pragmatic.
courtly charm and just trying to maneuver the conversation so that everybody's happy and we're making a good impression, regardless of what other people are saying.
Yeah, roll a persuasion check real quick.
Why
Right?
is everyone
I can do that.
Or performance, your call.
I'm going to go persuasion.
Okay.
How about a 28?
Yeah, Scarlet is drunk on elven wine and saying racist stuff, but you cover it like fucking seamlessly. Like people don't even notice
That's a nat
it.
20 too.
Yeah. Like people don't even notice it, right? That one thing they got, but then you easily change it oh, it's a roundabout joke and blah 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 blah, and then you're constantly smooth. Your mother looks very happy, and she's talking about her boy, and she's talking about stories about you, but it's only the good ones, right? You know, you got some good ones. She's bringing up all the highlights, right?
Oh, this is great.
And you're generally able to guide her from not talking about embarrassing stuff, so it generally looks good. Looks good, right? Zorksan, what do you do during dinner?
On the topic of embarrassing Decadic, I want to try to subtly hint or mention what it is that Decadic's getting commissioned down at the jewelry shop, and if she think it fits the occasion well enough.
Oh, you asked the lady of the
What
house?
is she? Yeah. Ask Decadic's mom.
Oh, yes. It's been in the designs for the family for quite some time. Each of my children, I have personally hand-drawn and had commissioned a brilliant piece of a wedding band. We've been working on them for years. I've gone through several different iterations, and the most recent one we've started crafting. It's going to take months to build, but it will be the talk of the goldsmiths. We will impress even them.
This is just an advance for Decadic, right?
Advance? Yeah, it's next year's. Yes, of course. Are you going to be at the wedding? We would need to know. Quick solving and all. Not against your people, but they are evil, slavering murderers. But you're not. You're one of the good ones. So...
A lot of
won't argue with
assumptions
that.
happening right now.
He thinks I don't keep slaves.
I'll tell you who the best kind of...
As Smoot just covers it instantly. Yeah.
I just start drinking more.
Can't
It was
drink.
Scarlet,
Right.
literally.
Smoot, did I forget this? Did we know Scarlet or Decadic was getting married?
Oh.
Who?
Decadic, he's the elf, the Arcanist on our ship. We're at his mother's house.
That's what I thought you said.
The pointy-eared one.
Who's the lucky man?
The lucky Decadic, of course. Lulia.
No, I mean the other partner.
No, I do apologize. The other part. Oh, yes. Lady Lulia Goldsmith.
Ah,
Yes.
just kind of assumed.
The second in line to the Goldsmith line.
Oh.
The one of the most powerful houses in Varissia. They are also the wealthiest family in all of Varissia. They own the gold mines, and they specifically have contracts with Khazad-dûm for mining rights and gem rights.
And this is for love.
Love? Oh no! You grow into love. Yes. You grow into. Very few are lucky enough to love the person they marry before they marry them. Most of the people just grow into love. And your mother's just nodding.
Okay.
Yes.
Steer the conversation away.
So, Decadic, are we invited to your wedding?
You know, I thought I talked about that before. It must have just slipped my mind.
Well, it's. Go ahead.
I bet it
I didn't
did.
mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh no, Decadic is purposefully stammering right now.
And while you're stammering, she says, yes, of course. If you are inviting, it'll be held in Dolan, 26th, year 797 next year, and it'll be in the citadel of Augustins in Varissia. Oh, here, I'll give you each a wedding invitation. Here. And she's going to pass you out each a wedding invitation. What is everyone's email?
Score.
Here, I'll put it mine in chat.
Oh, you know what? I'll add to the Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
And she hands each of you a personal invitation, almost like she has too many, right? Like you make too many invitations, like you have to buy them in bulk, and then you're like, do I really want to invite 400 people? But, like it costs as much for 400 as it does for 40, so why not just have 400 of them?
Oh, so it's like senior pictures.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly, right?
That's a good analogy.
I call for an extra bottle of wine to fill my goblet.
And on the back of the invitations, in the folding, as you unfold the invitation, on the back, which is not shown, is a picture of Decadic in one of those Victorian murals, facing a female elf, also in a Victorian mural.
Ooh.
Yes. Profile.
Have we met this person? We know a goldsmith, right?
You've met the Goldsmith
Very well.
family before?
Yes, I
We have.
meant to mention, Mother. I slipped my mind last time, but you'll never guess. But we've actually met her sister some time ago.
Oh, really? Oh, well, how pleasant.
Yes, she's a passenger on our ship currently.
Oh, fantastic. And where did you meet her?
Oh, it's hard to remember. We sailed far and wide across both sides of this great sea, and it's hard to keep track of where it was we found her.
Decadic in his memory, ma'am, we saved her from certain death. It was quite heroic of us.
Certain death. Oh, how terrible. Please give me all the details.
Well, you see, we were going and we found money, right? Was that what it was? We found
You know, we don't need to get into the details about.
She was being attacked by pirates on that dread pirate ship. Did you forget the way
Yes,
the Cadix
of course.
swung from the rope across and saved her heroically?
It was incredibly heroic.
Heroic
You would be very proud of him.
With a
He
sword?
didn't know.
I thought you were in mage school. A pirate ship? How
No,
did you get in a
because the
pirate
Cadix
ship?
was accused of
I
a
thought these were your
crime.
college friends from Cathol.
I think Dick, because he was pirate ship. And the crime he didn't commit. He was
Smoot.
fine.
Would Smoot try to smooth over the conversation? And it's-
Smoot's gonna kick the chair out from underneath her.
Okay, yeah, no, okay, so you smooth it over and you distract his mother, and like, no, we're totally from college, and it's not a pirate ship, is just the name of our fraternity. The
Yeah.
Nostromo.
Meanwhile, the chair goes flying back, and Scarlet goes, bam.
I did
Floor.
actually tell my mother the truth last time we were
did
here.
you?
I did tell
Never
her.
mind.
Yeah, that I
Okay.
was on a pirate ship. Yeah,
You did.
not all the
okay.
details necessarily, but that much. Yeah.
So, Smoot, because he rolled the 20 earlier, is able to help smooth some of the confusion over during.
Yes.
Well, how about that?
In our tale, you heroically saved her. It's a much better story.
Yes, sure. That's exactly what happened. So anyway, that's another interesting topic of conversation we could be talking about instead.
I think we should probably get Scarlet out of here and rest for the night. We'll need to get back to Hannisport before too long.
Don't forget about maybe I should, I mean, if you don't care, we can all just.
Strum is going to walk over
It's not
and just
Tuesday,
just stand her up and then fireman's carry over the shoulder,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we're going to walk away.
It's like I'm on my broom again. Whee!
Okay.
Goodbye.
I have posted the wedding invitation in the Facebook group, so you guys should be able to see it as an attachment now.
Well, resolve the rest of dinner quickly and efficiently.
I'm German.
I'll get Rutherford back in the mix sooner.
Okay. All right.
I'll hang back till everyone else turns in for the night.
Okay. Okay, all of you. Is anything else anybody wants to accomplish tonight?
Done enough damage.
Little conversation with my mother briefly in private.
Conversation with your mother briefly in private. Okay. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. Your mother is. Where do you want to have the scene with your mother? You know a couple places that she'd be. Private chamber, side room, tea room. What?
Yeah, probably in, just a side room, trying to clear my head after having, wow, did I really drink that much? Okay.
Okay. Your mother is mother didn't drink any wine. She was mostly just drinking water the whole time, and she seems to be just snuggling up by the fire. She's got a warm blanket. Smoot's mother is off to the side, still in that floating chair most of the day. She's just having hell of a time with it. She just moves her finger and it just goes wherever she tells her, and she's now passed out and thing. And as she's snoring, it's slowly kind of turning, right? And just kind of slow, not quickly, just very slowly, just kind of turning by the fireplace.
Because of her exhales.
Yeah, whenever she exhales, like her hand twitches a little bit on the side thing that actually controls the movement, and it just begins. It's just stuck in a very slow turn while she's passed out in it. So,
Please, help me, please. Help me, please. Please
Chair
do
goes
not
up,
move the
Chair
chair.
goes down. Chair goes up. Chair goes down.
so your mother's sitting there. She's got a blanket over her. There's a cat sitting on her lap, and she is just. She looks like she's reading a book, and there's probably like something she was knitting off to the side.
I'll join her on sitting next to her.
Okay.
Thank you for the meal tonight, Mother. So I hope my friends weren't too uncouth. They're a rowdy bunch, but they're the good people. They're dependable, reliable people.
You are your father's son. He was a lot like you around your age. Stubborn. More stubborn. Right. Obviously, you have more arms than he had at that time. But stubborn. But you do not have his temper. You have mine.
Yes. Yes, it's just a little flustered to be. To be honest, I haven't really given much thought to the big day coming up next year. It's honestly hard to think that far ahead. Speaking of which, curious too. When are you due for your next child?
Oh, well, I mean, it's been about a year and some now. Probably about another year. I mean, elven pregnancies last about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. So, yes, very, very soon, very soon. And whenever your father comes back, he'll hopefully be here. I mean, the war front seems to take him away. Wouldn't it be the first time I've given birth and your father wasn't around?
I'll make sure. You let me know. I'll make sure to teleport back, and I'd be here for my little brother's arrival. Wow, I'm going to have a little brother.
Oh, how did you know it was a boy?
It's just a feeling, like it's.
I only recently found out a few weeks ago.
That's us Thornbrooks, all soldier bear. It just kind of happened to produce mostly sons, it seems like.
I miss him, I miss my brother.
Yes, as do I.
Saw you carrying around a sword. Were you taking up to that? Thought you were going to be in Carthol. You were going to be a wizard. Be far away from this mess.
Yes, it's very strange how this voyage I've been on has taken me to all sorts of strange places, and well, seemed a matter of practicality that I should learn to defend myself, and I found an excellent teacher to teach me. I'm certainly nowhere on father's level. Of course, Eric, sister, could probably still beat my ass any day she wants. Sorry, language. But, it's not half bad, I think.
Just be careful. Your father should have retired long ago. He did retire. They pulled him out of it. I would hope that we would done with this war business. There's been enough Thornbrook blood cast on the soil. Your sister is luckily on the eastern front, just guarding against the Mithras, which is the safest front to be on. Your father put her there for a reason.
Sure, she's bored out of her mind if she's not looking for trouble.
Yeah, hopefully so. Just be careful. I can't tell you what to do, but she's a good woman. You would like her. A little high-strung, but sometimes being very different is very good. Your father are very different people, but I love him dearly. He does care for you all, very much so. He's fought hard to give you the home that you live in, and he does care, Decadic. He just terrible at showing it. He won't say it, but I think he's afraid of something. The war's getting really bad with the Thayans. We're losing, well, I heard him talking. He doesn't talk to me much about it anymore since we stopped adventuring, but he's worried about the front. He feels that we're losing ground.
Well, I'm sure he'll make sure that we hold to the last man out there, and I fully expect he will be the last man out there. He hasn't gotten himself killed yet. I don't know what will at this point.
Well, the Queen. Well, he luckily was in time to stop the assassination of the Queen. I'm sure he'll be home in a few days, anyways. He tends to come home at least once a month.
Well, sadly, I think I will be departing tomorrow to return to our ship. But feel free to give him my best, and I'll continue to stay in touch, and I will promise I will stay safe. I will not let anyone else in this family lose anyone else if I can help it. Yes, you know, I don't know why I don't know why I drink. So when I get anxious, it's not a good habit, is it?
Make sure to look after Smoot as well. His mother is very concerned, but I am grateful for her presence. It's nice to talk to one of the humans. Do you know she's only a little bit older than you are?
Yeah, yes. It's very peculiar how quickly they age and just go through life so fast. It boggles the mind. But yes, Smoot, he is a good man. He's forthright and foolhardy at times. And don't get me started on the feather falls. But he's a good man, and he's saved my back on many occasions, as have all of them. Whether they seem it or not, they're the good people.
Well, they certainly seem it. The table manners are a little bit to be desired, but good conversationalists. It's been the most exciting night I've had in quite some time. And she goes back to knitting a little child's booty.
And I'll get up and stagger my way to my rooms.
Okay. All right. Eventually, she puts your mom to sleep. And there you go. Anyone else who needs to do anything? Okay. It's the next morning. You can pick up whatever wares you wanted. Go ahead and add those scrolls. They are delivered actually to the estate.
Grab your extra food for Rutherford.
You grab some extra food for Rutherford. Actually, there's a fine dish with a lid over it, and it will be handed to you. It's breakfast. It's a really interesting elven breakfast. Elven waffles.
Lambus waffles.
Yes.
One small bite fills a full-grown man for a day.
Made of lettuce and lentils.
And lentils. Yeah.
So many lentils.
There you go. And vegan
And
eggs.
beans.
Vegan eggs.
Lots of beans. Lots of beans. So many beans.
All right. What else do you guys? Are you guys done? Do you guys want to? Okay.
I'm good to go back to the ship.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go back.
Me too.
Yep. Back to the ship.
You teleport back. Trey, the head gear is ready. You have one for every player character.
Cool.
Technically, you were able to make one extra if you wanted to bring an NPC along.
I'll let somebody else decide that. who the extra is.
All right. Rutherford, here's a little gift from my mother. Had some very excellent food last night. It's just compliments.
Cool. Y'all can wait to do anything until after I've eaten it, and I can just go and sit down and start eating it. Okay. So I made really good some headgear.
Delicious.
It's pretty good. And some of y'all gonna have to cut your hair around your ears so it'll stick to your head with this grease that I got. But it should make it so that we don't succumb to any magic that is audible or whatever. That's what I did while y'all was having your family time.
Excellent work, Rutherford.
I mean, Captain, you won't need them. In fact, I don't even think you have ears.
What?
I've got ear holes, I think. How do I work?
Snakes actually do have
feeling up my
ear
face.
holes. They do have an area where they can hear from.
Really good at lip reading.
Yeah. You do have like a whole area where you can hear from. So
like in Dragon Ball, Krillin fights the smelly guy and passes out. And it's like, Krillin, you don't have a nose. Oh, that's right.
Is that Dragon Ball Super? I'm trying to remember. Like,
oh, that's
could have had
The original.
way back, when they were kids.
Krillin, you don't have a nose. Oh yeah.
Could have wished for anything. You could have wished for a nose, and it said you used to wish on me.
Okay. So,
Oh my goodness.
you guys are back on the ship, and what else do you want to do?
Should we?
Haircuts.
Head south.
Yeah, head back to Hyannisport and see if we
Everybody
can.
gets a high and tight.
Jace is going to take the extra one, as per usual, since he'll be watching the ship while we're out and about.
Okay, so Jace Argona is going to have it on. Okay, keep in mind your character is going to be deafened, and each of you, while you have it on, is going to have the deafened condition.
Oh, so no bardic inspiration.
Unless you can do that through the telepathy thing.
You'd have to be able to hear it, I think.
Let me see.
Oh God! Imagine Scarlet giving us inspiration telepathically.
Let's see. Blindness, deafness, deafness. So you have the deafened.
You inspire with charades.
Deafened creature can't hear and automatically fails any ability
Semaphore.
check that requires hearing. So yeah. Okay. So. Okay. You characters, let's take a quick 5-minute break, and we will begin game at Hyannisport. And if your characters are wearing them as you're entering past the barrier, right?
I'll
Yes.
Before we put on the muffs, I'll cast my psychic rally cry spell.
Okay.
So we got that going.
Okay. Psychic Rallying Cry sounds perfectly good. So you guys will have that on. It's a ritual, I believe, so I think you can keep doing it, right?
I don't know if it's a ritual. Let me double check.
Is it? I can't remember.
Here. Oh, it is a ritual. Oh, okay.
So if you take the extra time, you can cast it without spending a spell slot. You get the advantage of casting it immediately if you need to, right? That's the advantage of just casting it. All right.
So, okay, yeah, all right.
5-minute bathroom break, and everyone will meet back here, and we'll be in Hyannisport.
Yes.
Wait. After these messages, we'll be right back. Okay. All right. Okay.
Tony, one question I got.
Mhm.
If I'm deaf and got the muffs on, can I still cast spells and have a verbal component?
Yes, you can. You just automatically fail any check that requires hearing. To note, though, Scarlet, if you cast spells that use music, technically there might be a penalty depending on the spell.
Okay.
You can't hear your own music as you're strumming it, so you're strumming an instrument without being able to,
Yeah. I'll think about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't want to.
It's not going to be
something
horrible,
that-
right? But there might be like a small penalty because
Yeah.
you're deafened. It's like playing the guitar, but you can't hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like playing Guitar Hero, we were only kind of doing some of the notes, missing some of the other.
But it's not impossible. Some of the best guitarists in the world are completely fucking deaf, right? Because of all the metal music they played over the years. So,
Right.
but yeah, you are right about bardically inspiring people is going to be difficult because. But you
Yeah.
could psychically communicate, so it'd be people that you're not able to communicate with psychically would have trouble.
Gotcha.
Okay. Just wait for Zork sent. So your goal is to get into town.
Yep, we're gonna go back into the fray, and hopefully we can actually fuck some shit up this time.
Are you going to be on the west port or the east port?
Probably the west port, because you know for sure there's a hole in the garden, Smoot's estate.
In the east side.
Hmm.
Okay.
Which side is the Deaf Alchemist shop on?
East port.
West.
Is that the west side?
West?
Yes.
Yeah.
The estate's on the west side as well.
Is it?
Okay.
Oh, maybe I
Yep.
probably just looked
Because
at
the
it.
east has got the 8 docks. West has 2.
Okay.
Yeah. East is a commercial district, west is like the residential.
You're right.
area.
I'm looking at the write-up of the town. You're right. The west side of Hannisport is where the population lives and where those other centers are. Yes. It's also where Dallas Street is. The famous bookstore, right? Right by the grassy knoll.
You had it run all these years.
It's also known for having its open concept carriage rides, right? You know,
Oh, yeah.
there's no top carriage rides.
Convertibles, yeah.
Convertible carriage
Yeah.
rides.
Pure Dallas in all its splendor.
Guess what could go wrong?
Go wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good thing you're not wearing your helmet because of your earmuffs, Smoot. What could possibly happen?
Oh, noted to you guys, if you have a helm, you won't be able to wear it while you have the ear things on. So Trey, I think that affects you, right? And
Yeah, because I won't be able to see
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
me
dark
too.
vision.
vision and stuff.
yeah,
Headband of intellect.
yeah. Pretty much, if you have headgear, you can't wear it while you got the ear muffs on. So
Okay,
if you
I'll
knew
take
that
that
ahead of time, if you want to re-equip or reattune to a different item, you might have attunement to. You can go.
Oh,
Now, we're
yeah.
not actually attuned to this, right? So if I have the rest of it on, but not that, so that way if my things come off for some reason, I can still put it on, then it works just fine, right?
Well, we're talking about if you just take. Yeah, if you're attuned to it, but you just have to have it off.
Okay.
Yeah, you just to have the deafened condition, you have to not have
Right,
like
right,
headgear
right.
on. And it's got to be on you.
Okay.
While we're sailing back, I'll unattune the Atlas of Endless Horizons and I'll attune the Gem of Acuity. So I got access to True Sight.
Okay. Okay. That will
Two.
see through illusions.
Feather.
Yes, just in case earmuffs aren't enough to see past everything.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me know when everyone's ready, and we will begin.
Do I want to attune to anything else?
Just do it.
I would like to go over to the pile, like the well, I guess technically pull out the piece, and I want to smell the piece, and I want to get a good smell of what it is to try to later on try to recall that smell, just in case.
Okay. Yeah. Getting close to the clothes, the bandages, this piece. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, and technically, if it's smell, you have advantage, and you have the scent ability. So.
Oh, this one's better. Nope. 10 with advantage.
It's going to be tough to recall. It smells like a crayon, but it's got a little bit of something to it. There's something there, right? You got a 10.
Okay.
It's not a complete fail. It's just a success, but it's going to be tough. But you think you might be able to sniff around, but you might have just like a straight roll instead of advantage.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
So on that note too, yeah, let's have those components locked up in a crate up on the deck, just so as we sail into town, see if it does start rattling like it's coming back to life.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You have that. That was in a container anyways, so you just put it back in that container. There's a lock for it. Okay. And
Yep.
you just and
We'll let Jace know with the headphone, since he's got the other earmuffs. Make sure no crew leaves the ship. Everybody stays. Do not leave for any reason.
Okay. It's like, all right. As he gets ready to put it on his head, and he has like a piece of paper and a thing, that's just to hand people if you can't make out what they're saying. Okay.
Yes. And we'll let the rest of the crew know too, but depending on how their memories get affected, who knows?
Okay. Alrighty then. As your characters begin to make your way towards Hannisport, you guys make your way past the lizard folk village. As you're going by it, you would notice a single smokestack in the distance is going on. The rest, nothing else. No one else seems to be at the docks or anywhere near it. You sail by?
Is that the same fire, it seems like, when we saw, 2 days ago?
The smokestack?
Wasn't there only a single, there we go, single smokestack going off?
Yes. 2 days ago, yes. You did notice that as well. So, same
We should probably stop.
And I think being that it's Strom, being that it's in Rokugan, he would want to stop.
Right. Should we pull into the dock or land elsewhere?
What?
Come in. We're speaking telepathically, goddammit.
What? Okay.
No, I'm speaking without thinking and hatching plans with the crew without earmuffs on.
Okay.
I believe you.
You pull into dock. No one stops you. And what do? You're in port. Do you make your way into the town directly for the smokestack? What do you do?
Is there any sign of bodies or struggle, anything like that?
Not yet. Not by the docks. Nope.
Okay.
Just let me
Go
Head
ahead.
straight for the chimney.
Yep.
Okay. Just straight for the chimney. There are 3 areas. There's a main area that looks like a lot of the villagers were at. There appears to be possibly what the remnants of a market district, and then there is where the chimney is, which appears to be more towards the left outskirts of the village, which appears to be where some of the farmsteads might have been. And so you're going to the left side?
Yes.
Okay. You guys head towards the outskirts of the village. As you do, you're walking by. It is eerily abandoned. Lots of sound.
And really quiet.
Really quiet. Super quiet. Your characters can't hear a thing. But visually,
But we're not at where these little people were, right?
no,
We're not entirely sure. We sailed by this village leaving Hyannisport, and it looked abandoned, like maybe it had a similar effect, but we don't know for sure if it did or not.
Okay. I was gonna say let's take off the thingies, but
Yeah, not yet.
As you begin to get closer, I need everyone to roll me a perception or investigation check. This is visual, obviously. Strom, you can roll scent if you want.
Okay.
So go ahead and let me know what you roll.
13.
17 for me.
8.
21.
Okay. Strom, you smell decay, right? Rotting meat, right? Like bad fish. It's just palpable with your enhanced senses of smell.
Can I tell direction?
It's all over. It is surrounding. Mostly from the village. Like the closer you would think you get to the village, the worse it gets. Investigation of 17 for the doctor. The doctor, you see, as you're beginning to walk by, as you're kind of passing by the outskirts, you see holes in the ground, like deep holes. They're not very big. They're much smaller, maybe like a foot around, but they're deep rabbit holes, and you see them every once in a while. Just it's a clear pattern of holes where, like between two alleys, as you're passing by the outskirts, and there's like an empty space between two buildings. You see a hole in the ground. You see maybe like a hole in the outside, and every time there's a hole, you see like decay around it, like just stuff stops growing around the holes. Almost like there's a rot, and you like pass by one of the holes and it just goes down, and keeps going down, and then it curves off.
Oh,
Like it's a deep hole, as if
like
somebody
a deep
had
hole?
like you're looking down a pipe, right? Just deep.
Oh,
Okay. And a 21 investigation for Decadic. Decadic, as you begin to get by closer to the hut area, you notice that the smoke is whitish, very white, and ashy. As you begin to get by, you seem to notice as you're getting close, because it's a very thick smoke, and it's heavy. It begins to soot, and you notice that there's a little bit of ash in the air.
They've chosen a new pope.
I think they've chosen to burn someone, not something.
oh, Holy Father.
I tell the rest of the group that.
Okay.
Perhaps the missing people.
That's what I'm afraid
Maybe.
of.
Maybe. But if they were...
Does it smell like barbecue?
What did you roll?
Nothing. Because my sense of smell is shit.
It's tough to tell. It's tough to tell.
I had the feeling if these things are biting people's limbs off and supposedly measuring people for consumption, why would they burn the bodies unless there's only something specific that they're wanting to eat from these people?
I don't. That's an excellent question. I think we're gonna have to look and investigate some more before we can really.
They,
Any further.
they measured them like a fine tailor, so I'm not really sure what they would have been looking for there.
Yes. Steel yourselves, you may be coming across a very grisly sight up ahead.
Okay. So you get to, there's a large brick. Well, I'm gonna say brick, yeah, because they don't do. It would be kind of like a stone building, right? Made of stone and appears to be some solidified kind of like mud between it, right? So it's yeah, just basically a stone building. It's about 2 stories tall. Appears to keeping with the investigation of who here has smithing or masonry as a tool proficiency. Anybody have masonry?
You?
I can
I
hear,
have Smith's tools, but not masonry.
not masonry. Masonry would be an automatic success. Smith's tools. Yeah, masonry is what I'd want. So if nobody's proficient in masonry, does anyone who feels like they would know building construction the best? Right? Which one of your characters?
No.
All right. Well, the bard has a chance. The bard always gets a chance.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah. just
So
only
go ahead and
because
roll
of
me
that.
an intelligence check, Scarlet. You've looked at a blueprint before. You've got no idea.
It is a
Oh,
building.
yeah.
It does look to be a tower. Decadic would understand that. It's the thing is, this building kind of sticks out. It looks different from the rest. Most of the other buildings appear to be made of like wood or slant because of the humid environment of this, right? You really want to build stone here. Just appears to just kind of be a stone building on the outside of town. And kind of like a tower, kind of like it's got a stone front and it's got a tower top, and the smoke is coming out of the top of the tower. It has a window on each floor, and keeping with your investigation checks, you guys are deafened. Never mind. That's what you see. You see that.
Someone should probably be looking behind us as we're walking forward to make sure nobody's sneaking up on us.
Good point.
Yes, I like that. Now that you mention it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a investigation check.
Everybody?
All of us?
All of us?
Whoever is looking behind. Who volunteers to be tail end Charlie?
That would probably be me because I'm the guy with the guns.
Roll a perception check. Sadly, no advantage because the helm isn't on.
How about a nice 8?
You don't see anyone behind you. You think you're all right. It's pretty thick jungle on the because of this town. It's kind of like a clear cut, but then there's like a thick jungle, right? Okay.
I'll think to the group. Ain't nobody getting through that jungle.
All right. We'll trust your perception.
Just as
The tower is all by itself. There's nothing else near it. It's actually
Yep,
farther
all
away
the
from the
time.
other buildings. It's kind of more clean cut. It does have a solid door to it, which is unusual. Most of the other buildings you've seen have had drapes, right? They're not a lot of doors. Almost more of an English make, right? Like almost like seeing an English building in a Oriental setting.
Ooh.
Okay.
Are there any tracks toward the building, like possibly fresh tracks?
Roll me a perception check. Or that'd be No, it'd be survival. Survival.
Survival? Okay.
Yeah, that's picking
Survival.
tracks out of the ground instead of that.
13.
13. It's an urban area. And you're looking specifically tracks heading towards the building?
Yes. I guess maybe this is the better question. How far are we away from the tower?
How far do you want to be? I would say for a safe distance, you're about maybe 40 yards away from the tower, right? 40, 50 yards sound about fine?
Sure. Yeah. So I'll look and see if there's any going toward the building.
Okay. Any toward the building with a 13? Yes. Yes, you do see Prince. Roll me an intelligence check with advantage. No, it'd be survival. Or what would give you like the type of creature? That would give you like survival. Give me another survival check.
Okay.
Right?
With advantage or just straight?
Technically advantage because of certain situations.
Okay. So that would be a 23.
You've ran into Wallonian dogmen before. They have very distinctive, deep tracks. The dogmen are normally about hunched over, about a good 7 feet tall. Right? They have very deep set-in tracks, and they kind of when they walk, they kind of have like a clawing. It almost looks like wolf prints, except much deeper and very front heavy. You don't know how dogmen from the 5 tribes of Wallan made it here, but these are fresh, and they're heading back and forth from that building. Actually, as you're walking around, you notice there's tracks all over the place, in and out of the village. And at that point, the hairs on the back of your neck start to stand up. Roll me a quick perception check. You've come to this conclusion before anybody else. I need you to roll me a perception check real quick.
Is it hearing or smell based? Well, I guess hearing won't matter, but is it smell based?
Not smell based, because they are masking their smell.
Okay. So it would be a dirty 20.
You look out into the distance. You're pretty certain if you weren't deaf, you might have heard the cackles of dogmen, because they get excited when they're about to do a kill. At this point, you look in the distance just long enough to start to see some of them charging. And since it's 11:13, I think next episode we're going to start off in combat with Wallonian dogmen in the Lost Village. Dum dum dum.
The quietest battle we've ever had.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I built a thing because I thought we were going to get to a thing. We didn't get to the thing, so we're having another thing. So I was gonna, because I figure this combat's going to take at least maybe an hour, and I don't want you guys staying up that late if you don't want to. So 11:14 isn't too bad of a time to call it. Next episode, be ready for combat. I will have a board ready, and we'll see what happens.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan.
Sure. I'll see you guys on episode 75. Stop
right.
streaming. Stop.